No problem. You don't have to have dental insurance to get great care from Afton.
Producers who brought you Fast and the Furious.
Including 0% APR for those who qualify and in-house financing for those with less than perfect credit. Call today at 277-2220 or visit us on the web at aptnet.com. See what patient-friendly dentistry is all about at Aptnet on Douglas Road in Mishawaka.
What's up, everybody? Sorry we're a little late. Had a visitor in the studio.
She's the one who changed your dirty
Trying out a new show prep thing. We'll see how it works.
All while being the shoulder you can lean on. This Mother's Day, show Mom how much you appreciate all she did for you. Of doing something unlimited for her. Stop by Parkwood.
What's up, Comet? Alex, Mike.
Give her an unlimited car wash for a month. For only $15.95, Mom can have the luxury of unlimited car washes for an entire month. Because every time she gets her car washed.
Oh, I mean, like I said, you know, if they thought it wasn't going to work, they did the right thing in making sure that it wouldn't work by getting Jim Carrey to be in a Sonic movie.
Parkwood Auto Spa is home to buy 5, get 3 free. Make Mom realize how special she is by making her car the best looking car in the world.
Rough day for Venezuela, that's for sure.
On Edison and Mishawaka and Ireland Road in South Bend or online.
So, true story. It was only about a decade ago that Venezuela took away all the people's guns. Just saying.
For tanning from Tiki Tan on Edison Road and My Deals, Michiana. Right now at MyDealsMichiana.com, you can get 50% off an unlimited month of tanning at Tiki Tan on Edison Road. Or if you don't have time for a traditional tan,
Gal Gadot turned 34 years old today. God bless her. What's up, Levi? All right, here we go. Hey, Tracy, Mike.
Morning News on News Talk 95.3 MNC.
And good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. I am your host, Casey Hendrickson. Phone number 574-25-95-95.3. That is 2595-953. You can also send a text message to 45364. Please put MNC at the beginning of that message. Do want to thank R&B Car Company, locations in South Bend and Warsaw. R&B Car Company are your used car experts. Venezuela, not having a good day, as some people in the live stream have pointed out. Venezuela banned private citizens from owning guns 7 years ago, leaving firearms solely in the hands of the army and the police, which is probably why they are throwing rocks at armored vehicles and getting run over. Now, as the country's opposition attempts to oust the oppressive Maduro regime from power, it is a decision that some have come to regret. Interim President Juan Guaido called for a military uprising dubbed Operation Libertad against socialist dictator Nicolás Maduro on Tuesday. Venezuelans have been protesting for months against Maduro's re-election, which the United States has declared to be illegitimate in light of Maduro's jailing of political dissidents and protesters. He also prevented any opposition from really running against him. As the unrest in the country approached a breaking point, some citizens told Fox News in December that they wish that they had guns available to them to fight back against the Maduro regime. A 2012 gun ban made that option all but impossible. Quote, "It was never easy to obtain a handgun permit in Venezuela, but at least before 2012 it was possible," said Daniel DiMartino, a Venezuelan expatriate. "Since Venezuelans are unarmed, we now depend on a military uprising for our freedom rather than a popular uprising." Under a June 2012 law, only the military, police forces, and some security contractors could purchase firearms from a state-owned weapons manufacturer. Hugo Chavez, the Venezuelan leader at the time, claimed that the law would curb the country's high rate of violent crime and said the ultimate goal was to disarm all private citizens. In 2013, just 37 weapons were handed over voluntarily. More than 12,500 were confiscated by force. Maduro ramped up the program in 2014, expending more than $47 million U.S. to enforce the ban. His tactics included grandiose displays of public weapons demolitions in the town square. Citizens who disobeyed the ban faced 20 years in prison. Guns would have served as a vital pillar to remaining a free people, or at least able to put up a fight, said Xavier Venegas, a Venezuelan teacher exiled in Ecuador. The government security forces at the beginning of this debacle knew they had no real opposition to their force. Once things were this bad, it was a clear declaration of war against the unarmed population. He also added the Venezuelans evolved to always hope that our government would be non-tyrannical, non-violator of human rights, and would always have a good enough control of criminality. And it kind of sounds familiar, doesn't it? I mean, it kind of sounds like a bunch of Americans. It's like, hey, our government can never. You know, what's interesting about the people who want only the government to have guns is that they're the ones that keep telling you that the government is oppressing everybody. They're the ones that keep telling you there's institutionalized bigotry and discrimination. Wouldn't you want to be armed to fight against that stuff? Omar Adolfo Zaires Sanchez, a lawyer and politician, suggested that citizens could have combated the Maduro regime much sooner if they had access to guns. Of course, we know that. Now, whether or not they won is a whole other story, but they would have had a fighting chance instead of just sitting in the street throwing rocks at armored vehicles and getting run over. Like I said, there's I'm going to put this in the Daily Show Prep today. There's a running live stream, and it's captured some firefights and things like that have happened. Again, there are some government forces that have sided with Guaido. They are armed, but my assumption is that they're not going to have large access to ammo, so it's going to be difficult for them to continue that fight. Large swaths of people, by the way, have been out there protesting. They're outclassed. I mean, that's all there is to it. They're just completely outclassed. So it's going to take either the military splitting with Maduro in order to go ahead and win this thing, somebody taking Maduro out who might be near him, or something, or external forces, because right now it just doesn't look very good. All right. 574-2595, 95.3. That is 2595-953. You can also send a text message to 45364. Please put MNC at the beginning of that message. What do we have here? There we go. The Indiana budget. All right. I thought this was interesting. So the Indiana budget, Indiana is known as one of the most fiscal states when it comes to the budget. Okay. And I'm not saying that they manage their money right, because I think that there's things that they could do better, but at least they keep money in a rainy day fund. Indiana Republican leaders say that the newly approved state budget is a prudent plan that keeps the state protected in case of an economic recession. The spending plan approved on Wednesday night last week, party line votes, anticipates the state keeping $2 billion in cash reserves. All right, so they've got basically a $2 billion savings account, okay? Democrats are maintaining that is done by ignoring important needs. So Republicans are saying, hey, we've got a budget, we've got $2 billion in extra money that we can use in a rainy day, recession hits or something like that. We're going to really wish that we had that money for critical programs. The Democrats are saying you only have that $2 billion because you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing and fixing things that are extremely important, et cetera, et cetera. Spend all the money, spend all the money, spend all the money. Republican House Speaker Brian Bosma says that keeping strong state reserves is a purposeful decision. The new budget includes what Bosma says is a prudent measure of giving schools a base funding increase of 2.5% each of the next 2 years, in spite of what they keep telling you in Elkhart. They keep telling you that they are taking money away from schools. They're not. Senate Democratic leader Tim Lanane argues more could have been directed to teacher pay raises and programs such as child welfare services if Republicans didn't worship at this altar of a $2 billion surplus. So basically, Lanane's story is we should increase the salaries of people and spend a bunch of money on child welfare services so we don't have a rainy day fund. And then what happens if we need it? We go into debt, we have a budget shortfall, and then what? Then what do we have to look at? So again, Democrats are saying we need to raise teachers' pay on this thing. And by the way, teacher pay in Indiana compared to the national average is not bad, by the way. It's not great, but it could obviously be better. Teacher administrator pay is pretty good. or I should say school administrator pay, not teacher administrator pay, but school administration pay is pretty good in the state of Indiana. So maybe you can just, I don't know, cut a little bit back there and then throw the savings from that into the teacher salaries and help the teachers out that way. That might be the best way of doing it. Okay, Casey, we need administrators. Yeah, but you need teachers more. I got news for you. If you got rid of 50% of a school's administrators, the school will still function. If you got rid of 50% of the teachers, that school doesn't function anymore. So, leaders are important. Don't get me wrong. I understand that. But we are, I think, investing, and this is not just the state of Indiana. It's in Michigan too. It's everywhere in the country. We are investing far more in higher level school administrative officials than we are into the classroom. That's a huge problem because the money should mostly be going to the classroom. I mean, obviously you got your bills, you got your building, you've got your lunch programs, your breakfast programs for your low income students, things like that have to be covered. But at the end of the day, when it comes down to those two pay things, more money should be going into the classroom for those teachers rather than going into the faculty lounge for the school administrators. And that's not what's happening. That's the issue. And of course, what's happened is they've made the politicians, in particular the Republican Party, the boogeyman. But the Republicans are saying, well, we need $2 billion in case things go south, because things do go south, and then we'll be able to go ahead and use this money. Unless, of course, they need to fix the roads. And at which point the Republicans in the state legislature will not use the rainy day fund money. What they will instead do is raise your taxes. So there's a little bit of the whole, we always have to have $2 billion around. And sometimes that's a bad thing because you can use the $2 billion for what it was supposed to be used for. Raising salaries and not maintaining a savings is probably not the best approach. So Tim Linnane does not really, I would be very interested to see how he budgets his household because it sure seems like he wants to just give himself more toys and not have a savings account. It'd be very interesting to see. Maybe he budgets his own money really well and he just doesn't care about yours. I don't know. So having a budget surplus is good. Sometimes you need to spend it, and Republicans in Indiana, I think, don't spend it on the things that they could probably spend it on. But I think that they should in some of those cases. But at the same time, there's no reason to blow through it and never, ever get it back again. Because once you spend $2 billion on teacher salaries and child welfare, that money is never going to be in the savings account ever again, because you're never going to get rid of it. Once you have that higher teacher salary and that child welfare stuff, even if you don't need the child welfare stuff, you're just going to sit there and you're always going to be running a deficit at that point unless you raise taxes, which ultimately is what the Democrats will want to do. MNC News Time is 3:32. Time to check out Masters Heating and Air Conditioning online at mastersheatcool.com. Masters gets there faster.
This is Michiana's breaking news and weather station.
We could work on that cow flatulence, that's for sure.
I'm John Tippney, the MNC News Center. Among our top stories this afternoon, a southern Michigan woman involved in a child pornography ring has been sentenced to 25 to 70 years in prison.
All right, so I've ultimately just decided to use Listly.
33-year-old Tally Affirmative Springfield
And I knew that you could make list posts with Listly, but I didn't realize that you could kind of do what I was already doing with Listly. And since Listly has been around forever, it shouldn't be an issue with this thing folding or changing things on me. So we'll give this a go and see how this works.
They're also among several people charged with conspiring to kidnap and kill a child in Branch County.
Alrighty.
And Senator Todd Young honoring former Senator Richard Lugar on the Senate floor today. At a time when nuclear proliferation was regarded.
You could have a heck of a barbecue with $2 billion.
Senator Lugar helped save the world.
Yes, you could. A heck of a barbecue.
Has led to the securing and destruction of thousands of weapons of mass destruction and delivery devices. In the early 2000s,
Did that yesterday. I will do a separate blog post for that since my YouTube video. A bunch of people on Facebook were like, oh, the Joe Biden video doesn't work because the video's been removed. That was because the bumper music got flagged for copyright violation on YouTube again, and it got blocked. I've got to find this Buttigieg fried chicken thing, though.
People of Venezuela, and not by external forces. Violence breaking out in Venezuela's capital today after calls by opposition leader Juan Guaido.
Airlines. Oh, that's right. I got that. The airlines eye crueler ways of making passengers miserable.
We agreed on a number, which was very, very good. $2 trillion for infrastructure.
I did that. I did that. I did that. Hey, every time I have a meeting right after work, I get so behind on everything. Okay, crazy lady. Yeah, that guy. Okay, that person. Okay. Okay. All right. New York Times published a correction for saying that Jesus is most likely a Palestinian man. How could he be a Palestinian man if Palestine didn't exist? Got news for you. The Romans created Palestine to insult the Jews after the Second Revolt. History. What do we got here? Oh, Illinois governor's in trouble. Hot dogs, I did that. Oh, that's... Damn it. I knew there was something I was supposed to screen. The RNC released a new ad on terrorists being able to vote to attack Bernie. I kept looking for it to screen it, and I never got a chance to.
Farm market report and corn and soybeans were mixed.
All right.
Corn and soybean
Oh, yeah, Seattle finding the cat. Forgot about that.
With delays starting to mount, the added likelihood of corn acres eventually shifting to soybeans did pressure the bean market today, and yet again the corn market worked mostly even.
Did we ever find out why that guy tossed his phone at the president at the NRA convention yet?
July up 3/4.
I haven't heard anybody say anything.
2.5, and Dees down 1/4 at 381. 6 1/4 lower May soybeans. 8.1 1/4.
Yeah, YouTube will ban me. Well, which thing specifically are you talking about that he got his facts on?
Lower May wheat finishing at 418.5. July 428 3/4 down 6.5.
What specifically is that?
114.25 down 55. June lean hogs 88.22 up 17.
Later, Tracy.
Who's your ag today? Indiana's Farm Network. Fox Business Report.
Yeah, Rush was talking a lot about Biden today.
So you can redesign, remodel, and relax. Modern Kitchen on McKinley, east of Ash Road in Elkhart.
From the Fox Business Network, the major averages are mixed in the final hour of trading as investors are digesting a slew of earnings reports from big companies.
Pete Buttigieg dined on fried chicken, macaroni and cheese, and collard greens. I guarantee it's the first damn time he's ever had collard greens. Probably doesn't even know what they are.
And revealed that revenue growth dipped below 20% for the first time in 3 years. Its shares are falling around 8% for its worst day on Wall Street in 10 years. And Facebook is sporting a new look, rolling out a substantial redesign of its website and mobile.
Yeah, careful with the facts. YouTube might ban me on the Palestine thing. Yeah.
One casualty of the changes, the iconic blue Facebook banner that has appeared atop screens since the social network's debut back in 2000.
Oy, Pete Buttigieg. That dude.
And will be buying the digital news company network for $200 million in an all-cash deal. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Rebarsky.
Hi, I'm Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans. 30% of Americans who are...
I don't know what it is with these pasty white rich liberals and fried chicken, man. It just throws them off. Just throws them all off.
Out of your home with a Quicken Loans 30-year fixed-rate mortgage. The rate today on our 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 4.5%.
I heard he brought some hot sauce.
Call us today at 800-QUICKEN.
Oh, man. That's funny. That's some funny stuff right there.
If you're looking for a position in a home-like atmosphere where you can help provide people with compassionate care and comprehensive services, is looking for you. Come and apply for HealthWind's featured jobs of the week. Full-time social worker, long-term care, experience preferred. Also, immediate openings for nurses and flexible schedules available. Apply in person at 20531 Darden Road in South Bend, or go online to healthwind.org and click careers.
Good Lord Almighty. See, if I bring my own hot sauce, I'm actually going to bring my own hot sauce, like Casey's hot sauce. Like it's my hot sauce. You're like, suck this down, Al. I'm here in Harlem. Least you can do is drink my sauce.
South Bend and apply for Helpwood's featured jobs of the week. Full-time social worker and nurses.
All right, flash flood warnings in Berrien.
Join the team at Helpwood. Rebuilding lives with care.
He felt no ways tired. Oh, we're bad. By the way, got that Hillary Clinton story later. It's a doozer.
Then we apply 3 layers: a water-shedding primer foundation, a sealer to create an adhesive bonding, and a ceramic top coat that locks in. This perfected paint process is hydrophobic, causing all liquids to beat up.
Did I even post that thing to Facebook though?
It's scratch, UV, and chemical
Me either.
resistant. Aside from the occasional car wash.
So now I need to change my picture on Facebook to like a Pete Buttigieg awkwardly having fried chicken and a picture of hot sauce.
Tree sap, UV rays, bugs, water droplets, dirt, and anything else nature throws at it, while providing any unmatched shine that's second to none. Z-Bart, your automotive appearance and protection experts. Visit Z-Bart of South Bend or call 574-232-2073.
I don't care if it is cultural appropriation. Collard greens is the greatest damn thing on earth. Love me some collard greens, man. Best with lard.
And good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. I am your host, Casey Hendrickson. By the way, the 95.3 MNC weather text alerts are new and improved, as listeners on the live stream are telling me all about the alerts that they are getting. Flash flood warnings in Berrien and that sort of stuff. So customized and faster than ever. To stay connected, text the word weather right now to 45364. Pick the counties that you care about and get word of severe weather the very moment that the alert is issued. Minutes do matter, and that's why our weather text alert service is better than ever. Again, text the word weather right now to 45364. Message and data rates do apply for both of you who don't have unlimited plans. Okay, so we have Pete Buttigieg. What is it with rich white liberals and not understanding how to behave around fried chicken? What is this? I'm going to tell you a story about, I think this was Alan West. I'm almost positive it was Alan West. So, hold on. I want to just double check. See, Alan West. Fried chicken. Gotta look this up. I'm pretty sure it was him. Yeah. There you go. So, Alan West, okay. It was like, I think he was going to speak to the Congressional Black Caucus or something like this a few years ago, back when he was still in Congress. And Alan West brought fried chicken, Chick-fil-A fried chicken, to the Congressional Black Caucus. And of course, they pretended to be really offended that he would dare have fried chicken because it's racist for you to assume that black people like fried chicken. And as I've said, you're a freakazoid if you don't like fried chicken. And this is where a few of you send me messages and tell me that you don't like fried chicken, and I tell you that you haven't had good fried chicken. I'm not a chicken fan, and I love fried chicken. But you've just got to find the right recipe for you, right? So it's always interesting to me that these people who are running for office, they go to meet the black civil rights leaders, and then what do they have? Fried chicken. So why is it offensive to talk about fried chicken in a setting where any black individual might be? You know, so Alan West, many years ago, he was speaking to the Congressional Black Caucus. He brings fried chicken from Chick-fil-A. They act all offended that he brings fried chicken in there and everything else. Now, Alan West is black, in case you don't remember, okay? So Alan West hops on a TV, and he's got all of these officials from the Congressional Black Caucus who are all Democrats. We're upset that he would dare use a cultural stereotype with fried chicken and have fried chicken for him. And he goes, it's kind of funny. He's like, they're all upset about the fried chicken. When I left, there wasn't any pieces left. and here we've got Kirsten Gillibrand, we've got Pete Buttigieg. Anybody who goes and meets with Al Sharpton or any civil rights leaders, they all have fried chicken. They all have fried chicken. So Pete Buttigieg dined on fried chicken, macaroni and cheese, and collard greens. And I've got money that this is the first time he's ever had collard greens. I got money on it. And you know what happened? His brain froze. He didn't know how to behave. Now, okay, Joe, Communist Joe, you are the pastiest, whitest guy that I know, okay? You're almost ginger. You're like one notch away from having gingivitis. You get invited to dinner. Fried chicken is put in front of you. What do?
I eat it.
How?
With my hands?
With your hands. Okay. We all know this, right? We all know this. You remember when a coworker brought this up to me? You remember when President Trump was blasted in the media for eating his fried chicken with a knife and a fork? And even I said, I'm not sure we can trust him anymore. Remember that? Okay. But he was blasted like 2 or 3 days. They were harping on President Trump and eating fried chicken with a knife and a fork. So now, Pete Buttigieg is sitting there. He's across from Al Sharpton. Like I said, Al Sharpton used to do his show in my studio. He's a fraud. Everything that he says, he believes, he doesn't. He's a complete fraud, okay? Al Sharpton is sitting there. You know what Pete Buttigieg says as they bring the fried chicken to him? You ready for this? It's not rude to eat with my hands, is it? What is it with these pasty white rich liberals? What is it with you? Why is fried chicken your kryptonite? It's just chicken, man. You have been around it your entire life, whether you've picked it up. I'm convinced that Kirsten Gillibrand, who was doing the knife and fork thing, was really confused about it. And finally, the black lady sitting next to her is like, just pick it up and eat it. And she like, oh, do I just pick it up and eat it? Yes, you just pick it up and eat it. And I'm convinced it's the first time she's ever had fried chicken. I'm convinced of it. Okay. But I know Pete Buttigieg has had fried chicken before. He's in South Bend. Okay. He's in South Bend. We got fried chicken everywhere in South Bend. There's no way that Pete Buttigieg has existed in this city without having fried chicken. Maybe not collard greens. I can believe he's never had collard greens because I run into a lot of you pasty whiteys who've never had collard greens. By the way, you need to. It's amazing. And this, he's looking at Al Sharpton. Am I allowed to eat with my hands? Yes. Al Sharpton goes, yeah. Go ahead. Eat the chicken with your hands. Just for the love of God. Okay. There's a whole article here. I'm looking at this article on Deadline. Pete Buttigieg causes a frenzy in Harlem. And they're talking about how packed it was outside of this restaurant as Pete Buttigieg was sitting there having a conversation with Al Sharpton. And I'm looking at the crowd outside. Do you know what the crowd outside looks like? A sea of pasty white Caucasian people. Media people who are sitting there filming and taking pictures. I don't see any black people in the photos. I mean, it doesn't mean that they're not there. I'm not saying that they weren't there. It's exciting anytime you have a candidate come to town, even if you don't think they're going to win. But they're talking about the pictures. They're putting these pictures in the article, and the pictures are pasty white news media, not residents of Harlem. Is it rude to eat with my hands? It's fried chicken. Eat it any dang way you want, but unless it's a knife and a fork, Mr. President, because that's wrong. Anyway, we got phone calls on this coming up. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel.
We're on the Weather Watch.
Trump's going to speak from the White House.
Huh?
Trump's going to speak from the White House.
Okay.
Why does he have a NASCAR car in front of him?
Your breaking news and weather station.
Does he?
Yeah. At the White House.
Does he got the winner of the race there?
Probably, but I'm just. Oh, did you go see Endgame this morning?
No, my wife had something to do, so I got stuck with the kid today. So, yep, he's meeting Joey Logano, who is the NASCAR Cup Series champion for 2018. So that's what he's doing. And you know why he's displaying the NASCAR and doing all of this, right? Because Virginia, the basketball team, says they're not going to go to the White House. Fine, we'll just put a NASCAR out front. What would he do with Indian food? Why is fried chicken the kryptonite of rich white liberals, though? Honestly, I don't understand why this is such a friggin' thing with them. It's fried chicken. Just eat the damn fried chicken. For crying out loud.
For more information or to donate online, go to 5starlife.org. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you so much.
Presented by Newstalk 95.3, Michiana's news channel, your breaking news and weather station.
My name is Dave Titus with International RV in Elkhart, Indiana. You know, one of the things that we see people that are really concerned with is whether they can actually afford an RV or not. They see these big things going down the road, and oh my gosh, I could never have one of those. And we have units that start at around $100 a month. It's all about the fun, sitting around the campfire with your wife in the evening, or with your kids, or taking that stroll on the beach, or having that private weekend that it really didn't cost you hardly any money, but you had a great time. We'll do any type of service.
Maybe. Who knows? Oh, somebody underneath it. Oh, that's funny. Somebody underneath it posted a picture of Kasich eating his pizza sideways. But Kasich is demon seed, though, so it doesn't really count, does it? I don't. Like, even Kirsten Gillibrand, like, she's seen people eat fried chicken, so she kind of gets how fried chicken should be consumed.
Know how it's going to impact their cash flow and their retirement plan.
Just crazy. Just crazy.
Well, I think in general, people are looking for clarity and confidence that they're on the right track financially. And when you can connect someone...
And again, the frenzy that I see in all of these pictures is pasty white news media. I don't see hordes of Harlem residents out there stalking Pete Buttigieg.
That's going to line all these pieces up together, and you're going to have a lot more success.
Nah, man, we didn't do a show for 51 minutes. Finn's fan shows up. Did I miss anything? Nah.
We waiting on
Nah, we haven't done anything.
Waiting on you, man. Still now.
Dude, grape soda. All right, so I splurged the other day, and because we did a movie night over the weekend, my daughter been begging me for it. It's been 3 weeks since we've done one. I got the Great Mike and Ike's. I was in heaven. Have you ever had the Great Mike and Ike's? They're so good. First of all, Mike and Ike's are good, but the Great Mike and Ike's was basically like sucking down just a gummified version of grape soda. It was awesome.
Wednesday, May 15th from 2 to 6 p.m. Go to MichianaCareerFair.com.
We're your home for the Sean Hannity Show. Weeknight 6 till 9.
Oh, yeah, his announcement crowd versus Trump's crowd was hysterical.
Your breaking news and weather station.
And good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. I am your host, Casey Hendrickson. Phone number 574-2595, 95.3. That is 2595-953. Who asks if it's rude to eat fried chicken the way that you eat fried chicken? I'm just trying to figure this out, man. I just don't. If they're boneless chicken wings, you can eat them with a fork. But if it's fried chicken, and Pete's husband, forget your name. So Pete's husband, you need to make the man more fried chicken, because he's got to get comfortable with fried chicken if he's going to continue to do this outreach to the minority community, because only black people eat fried chicken. White people do not eat fried chicken, as we all know. And if you're going to do minority outreach to the black community, you cannot do it in South Bend, because there are no black people here. You have to do that outreach elsewhere. Okay. Casey, a soldier told me when served chicken in, what's that? Chaston? All right. Chaston making more fried chicken. And maybe look up how to make collard greens. Find a southern white woman. If you can't find a southern black woman to teach you the recipe, they both cook it amazingly. A soldier told me when served chicken in Germany, you eat it with a knife and a fork, perhaps with a European wife. Trump eats chicken that way. Hey, that could be. Maybe she has harassed him enough about that, and he is just like, you know what? I've given up on this fight, and I'm just going to go ahead and eat the chicken the way that my wife wants me to. I could see that. That makes perfect sense. Now, when you were served chicken in Germany, though, was it fried chicken or was it just like German chicken? Because do the Germans even know how to fry chicken? I wouldn't trust German fried chicken. My wife got German pickles today from the store, and she goes, okay, yeah, the kids won't like those. I didn't know the Germans knew what pickles were. Like, what are you doing buying German pickles? Everybody knows you get your pickles from Jewish people. Everybody knows this. Like, they make the best pickles. So why would you get German pickles? I don't know. Strange. Casey, would chopsticks be acceptable? If you can pull off eating fried chicken without stabbing the chicken with chopsticks, I'm impressed enough for you to be able to go ahead and continue to do that. KFC's tagline used to be, it's finger licking good. They did. Before that became sexist. Let's see. Casey, heck yeah, I'm cleaning up the language here. Mayor Pete is, oh my God, I can't say this stuff, people. Why? I think I can do it. I think I can get away with it. I can't do it. I can't do it. Huh? Let's not risk it. Let's see. Casey, I picked up on that instantly when I read the story. Fried chicken, collard greens. How racist. Well, that's just it. How is it that you can never, as a white person, you can never serve a black person fried chicken, but if you're a white person who's going to seek the approval of a black person, they give you fried chicken? Can't we just assume everybody likes fried chicken, and when somebody sits at the table and goes, I don't really like fried chicken, just assume that they're the devil, and you don't vote for that person. Ted, welcome to the program. Good afternoon.
Hi, it's Ted. Just calling about your chicken story.
Yeah.
I don't think Kentucky Fried Chicken calls it finger looking good because eat it with a knife and fork, you know?
Well, yeah, but they also had to drop the slogan because it was sexist. Remember that? So.
Yeah.
But like I said, I can believe that he's never had collard greens because I do know a lot of white people that have never had collard greens. I can't believe for a second that he has not had fried chicken. So what he is doing is he's now doing this self-deprecation thing where he's going, I am here to do your bidding, thy master. Is it okay if I eat my food the way that an adult eats his food, master? And that's what Pete Buttigieg was doing to Al Sharpton today. And Al Sharpton's like, yes, you may eat with your hands.
Well, it's a funny story anyways. I got a kick out of it.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting too. But the thing, Gillibrand just went through this 2 months ago?
Yeah.
Shouldn't he be aware of that?
I don't think so. When they say anything that flies, you're supposed to be able to eat with your hands anyway.
How about this? I'm a grown man. I'll eat however the heck I want, whatever I want.
Yeah.
And if Al Sharpton doesn't like it, too bad.
It's got to be that politically correct thing or something.
I don't know. I've never in my life met a black person who eats their chicken with a knife and a fork. I think he's going to be safe. I think he'll be okay.
Never met anybody.
When I saw the president doing, like I said, I wasn't sure you could trust him anymore. But the person who said that maybe it's a European thing and his wife is harassing him about it, I suppose that's possible. It's entirely possible. Who knows? So, all right, man. I appreciate it. Thank you much. Take care.
Yeah, see you.
All right. It's like every time there's a fried chicken story in the press, it's like, do you realize we have talked way too much about fried chicken over the past year and a half? So fried chicken is a scandal with the president. Fried chicken is a scandal with 2 Democratic presidential candidates now. Are you serious? It's just chicken, for crying out loud. Oh, my God. All right. Casey Hendrickson, the best thing to happen to Michiana since, and then there's nothing else, but I appreciate it. 574-25-95-95-3. Roland, welcome to the program.
What's up, brother?
How you doing, man?
Did we have this discussion before?
Yes, we've talked about this way too much.
I ate chicken with a knife and a fork because I was just taught that as a kid.
Yeah, you told me that was it a manners thing, or how did that come about?
I was in private schools as a young kid. I got scholarships, and my grandmother said, "You're going to be around all these white people, and you can't be eating, with your fingers and blah 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 blah." So I learned how to do it then, which drives my black friends crazy.
Yeah. Well, like I say, I mean, trusting somebody who eats with a knife and a fork is very difficult. So I've always got my eye on you. And
I got a quick funny story about stereotypes of chicken though. I was up in Niagara Falls with my family, with my first wife, and me and her father, he wanted to go to the New York side to get some chicken at some place.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going through, into customs, and the guy asked us, well, why are you coming back in the United States? And we want to go to this place to get some fried chicken. And he goes, well, you're kind of stereotyping, aren't you there? And I just kind of hollered at the guy. Now, this is a customs guy. I mean, what makes you think you can talk to me any way you want to about that? Blah, blah, blah. I mean, I just jumped in his case, and the guy just, like, stepped back. You can go. And my father-in-law was, like, scared because he just thought that they were going to, take us and throw us away. But that's my little funny story about that.
Why would he even say that to you, though?
Well, he probably figured I wasn't going to say anything back.
Oh, okay.
But I do have a friend at work, though, that I've got hooked on collard greens now. And
oh, dude.
He went home and ate the greens, but then he felt ashamed to tell me that they had fried chicken with it. I'm like,
what?
Why? I don't understand.
What do you think you have with it?
What else you got to eat? You got to eat some collard greens and drink some Kool-Aid, maybe.
Oh, my God. All right, Roland. I got to get out of here, man. I'm almost out of time, but I appreciate the call. All right. You take care. That's funny. He felt ashamed to tell you they had it with fried chicken. Yeah, it's almost time to go back to Vegas. My friend's aunt makes the best collard greens. The best. All right. We got more coming up.
WTRC FM and HD1. Niles, South.
Moving on, I assume.
Huh?
Moving on.
Yeah, moving on.
Hey, Steve, you there? Unfortunately, we're moving on now, but if you...
Guess we women know how to eat like a man. Oh, God. All right, I'll be right back. Let me get a warm-up.
No, but I will...
National Security Advisor John Bolton.
All right, I will do that. Thank you.
Meantime, the Venezuelan ambassador to the UN insists it is an attempted coup and that most Venezuelan people support Maduro. The two sides agree on something after a White House meeting between the president and top Democrats on infrastructure, settling a tentative goal of $2 trillion worth over 2 years.
We did come to one agreement that the agreement would be big and bold.
Sorry, that should be over 10 years. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi there, along with Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer, praising the positive tone of the meeting, which steered clear of the Russian probes of the president. A healthcare debate at a House hearing. Fox's Jared Halpern live on the Hill.
For the first time ever,
Oh.
Whew. Medicare for all legislation. I long believe that healthcare is a right for all, not a privilege.
Yeah, she uses bacon and she uses pig bone. Oh my God. I will kill for her collard greens. She used to make me a special pot anytime we had like one of those big functions. She would make me a special pot just for me to take home, and I could live off of that. Absolutely love collard greens. They're hard to find.
Angle's restaurant in this area.
Okay. I may have to check them out because they are hard to find. Mm-hmm. It's all taffy.
Investigators say the 27-year-old man was shot while trying to sell a gaming system that through a social media transaction. A man called 911 after he was struck by bullets. Police arrived in the 600 block of East Bronson where they found the victim suffering wounds to the arm, shoulder, and leg. They were taken to the hospital with apparent non-life-threatening injuries. 95.3 MNC's Carl Stutzman reporting. And the Indiana Supreme Court has appointed former Justice Myra Stanley to hear allegations that State Attorney General Curtis Hill committed professional misconduct.
Okay, see, my husband was on a Southern State construction job. When my husband brought watermelon to the job site, his black supervisor said, "You whites like watermelon too?" Oh my God, that's funny.
So bring the entire family. Now, from Comfort Experts, your air conditioning
conditioning professionals' first warning forecasts.
Scattered showers again for today with temperatures warming up to 55 degrees. You could hear a rumble of thunder or two, but thunderstorms look more likely for tonight into Wednesday.
Unsweetened cornbread's right.
Showers and thunderstorms both in our forecast, but temperatures will start to warm up near 70 degrees. In the ABC 71st Warning Neighborhood Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Kennedy.
Rain in the area and 49 degrees at the 95.3 MNC studios. I'm John Zimmy, News Talk 95.3, Michiana's News Channel.
Now, it's even easier to plan your week with radio's only 5-day forecast at 16 and 46 mornings and afternoons. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's News Channel, your breaking news and weather station.
News powered by Polymax at 4 Lakes, now offering flavored Ultracell Full Spectrum CBD oil. Ask about it today and come taste what it means to make American food great again.
The fastest way to answer the call of the road is to take a ride on a modern legend. Get ready, because every Saturday in April, Elkhart Indian Motorcycle is giving you a free...
And people are trying to be funny and cute about a very serious issue.
Just how good you look on an Indian motorcycle. The Elkhart Indian Motorcycle...
Just because they want to be antagonists.
Indian motorcycle and ride away with a free lunch every Saturday in April. Limit 1 per customer. You won't have to put your ear to the ground to hear the road calling, because you can take a legendary ride and experience firsthand what everyone is talking about. Just be ready to ride one home, because there's nothing quite like an Indian motorcycle. Don't miss Demo and Dine at Elkhart Indian Motorcycles every Saturday in April. Must have long pants, closed-toed shoes, and a valid motorcycle endorsement to test ride.
Report, Daniel Craig not liked by people working on new James Bond movie. How about he's James Bond? Shut up. Hasn't been a problem on the other movies. It's like these people who come into the New England Patriots and like, we don't like the way that we're treated here, and we don't like this whole Patriot way. Yeah? Well, they're a dynasty, and you're new to the team, and you've accomplished nothing. So, shut your mouth.
Which can save you money every month on your new mortgage. With our exclusive Rate Shield approval, the low rate you lock today is protected for up to 90 days while you shop for your new home. With a Rate Shield approval, if rates go up, your low rate stays fine. But if rates go down, you get that new, even lower rate. Either way, or go to rocketmortgage.com to take advantage. Here's another great reason to work with us. For a record 9 years in a row, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. Again,
just going through some of the stories that are out there, trying to find something interesting. Kind of a weird news day.
Quicken or go to rocketmortgage.com. For J.D. Power award information, visit jdpower.com. Rate Shield approval only valid on certain 30-year fixed rates. Equal housing lender, in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030.
All right, here we go.
Not at you. Casey Hendrickson, News Talk 95.3, Michiana's News Channel.
And good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's News Channel. I am your host, Casey Hendrickson. Phone number 574-2595, 95.3. That is 2595. 953. I'm sorry. I just read a headline. Wiener shopping book deal. Interest is flaccid. I'm sorry. It just came across my screen in the middle of my intro, and I lost it. Okay. All right. I want to thank our sponsor, Second Amendment Arms and Range, located in New Carlisle, Indiana. Of course, if you mention me, you get half off your range time. You also get 10% off your purchases in the store and listener exclusive discounts on firearms. Don't forget, they have great ammo over there, reloading supplies, tons of great accessories. Go to secondamendmentarms.net for more information. More fake hate, ladies and gentlemen. Jewish restaurant owners staged what some have called the most brazen hate crime Winnipeg, Manitoba had ever seen, according to Canadian authorities. Fake hate's made its way to Canada. I didn't know that there was enough hate outside of Quebec, Canada, for anybody to even care about it. Police arrested 3 family members, Alexander Barrett, 56, Oksana Barrett, 48, and Maxim Barrett, 29, on Wednesday. and charged them with public mischief and faking a hate crime, according to CBC News. So the family allegedly decorated the walls of their Jewish restaurant with swastikas multiple times and reported the supposed hate crimes to the police. Like, they realize that this is Canada, right? Like, this isn't the U.S., so it's not as big of a political deal there. The Barron family reported the most recent of the crimes on April 18th and told police that a woman had been assaulted in the walls of Burmax Cafe, a bistro, were spray painted with anti-Semitic graffiti, according to the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. Winnipeg Police Chief Danny Smythe, that is so Canadian, Smythe, announced Wednesday that the restaurant owners staged the attack. The family denies the claim, though, so they haven't actually admitted it. The Barons had reported several times over the past 5 months the restaurant was vandalized. The police suspect that these past anti-Semitic incidents were staged as well, according to the Washington Post. We didn't, because we don't joke about swastikas on our walls, Oksana Burnt said in an interview with a radio show. My grandmother's family, they died in the Holocaust, she said. Just her and her little brother survived. The whole family, we don't joke about that. Now, that's the instant moral high ground argument that people go to. Well, no, I have relatives who survived the Holocaust. Okay, so what does that mean? Doesn't mean anything. My Jewish ancestors fled the Nazis. I have still cracked Jewish jokes. Doesn't mean anything. Okay? Does not mean anything. But that's what they try to do, to give themselves some inoculation, if you will, a shield from criticism. When reports of the fake crime originally circulated, Jewish Federation of Winnipeg spokesperson Adam Levy called it the most brazen act of anti-Semitism that we've seen in our community, and perhaps ever. And again, everybody jumped to conclusions. They do it there just like here. We are shocked and deeply disturbed by today's news of the fraud. The Federation said Wednesday in a statement to CBC News, it is deplorable. Oh, how dare they use that word. It is deplorable that anyone would make false allegations of anti-Semitism, especially claims of such a serious nature or any kind, for any kind of gain. False complaints of criminal acts of anti-Semitism are not only illegal, they undermine the important work necessary to counter anti-Semitism and hate in all forms, the Federation said. So, once again, this is, the police have basically said, no, this is all garbage. The family is still maintaining their innocence, but the police have done the investigation on this, and they say that they believe all of these incidents have been staged and fake. And, again, some people might be thinking about this because maybe they're new to politics, maybe they're new to the show, maybe they've just been turning the channels and they're like, wait a minute, somebody did what? And they're wondering why somebody would do this. And why, if you don't know, it's common. It happens all the time. That's the thing. Most of these anti-Semitic or racist incidents are actually fake. There are real ones that happen, but the vast majority of them are fake. For instance, we had a real one happen in Indiana just like 6 months ago. But most of them are fake. And they are fake because people are trying to get attention. They're trying to get money. Usually the formula is they don't go to the police. They post it on social media after creating some kind of a crowdfunding thing. And then they're trying to get money for people. They defraud people. They get caught. They're forced to give the money back. It's a whole thing. But this is a restaurant now. So the restaurant, you do this sort of thing, then the community becomes sympathetic to you, and they come on out to your establishment and support you. And so you have this influx of money that comes in, and you hope that people like the establishment enough that they keep coming back and they become regular customers. That's the idea behind it. And give you a perfect example. So the legitimate issue where swastikas were spray painted on a synagogue in Indiana, the legitimate one, which we were questioning again because I've become a cynic on this stuff. But we ended up learning that that was legitimate. They did, in fact, spray paint swastikas on the garbage enclosure, if you will. And what happened the next week? It was filled. Their whole synagogue was filled. They had never had so many people in their synagogue, which included state government leaders, by the way. And a lot of people had this huge outpouring of support. Yes, there was extra money that came to that. And I'm not saying that they did that on purpose. They didn't. That was a legitimate case. But that's what happens. Because people go out of their way to make those who feel unwelcome to feel welcome in the United States. Now, this is in Canada. I would assume that the Canadians are similar in that regard. And so they do this sort of thing to try and drum up support and sympathy from the community. And then again, maybe the community supports them, has breakfast there, has lunch there. Maybe they become regular customers because they like the food. A minister at Westworth United Church canceled a Thursday night vigil after authorities revealed the crime was staged. We decided that we are all too raw right now to hold anything. Yeah. You think? Maybe the whole too raw thing is even, they're still being nice about it. No, just say, you know what? We're not holding a vigil for frauds. That's all you got to do. The community had also organized a fundraiser for the family. Ladies and gentlemen, see how that works? That's how you get money. They had organized a fundraiser for the family, but the money raised for the Barents has now been returned, according to the Washington Post. I can see this as a betrayal of the community and a betrayal of also the police. It ran Ukashi of B'nai B'rith Canada, a grassroots human rights advocacy group. Never heard of them before, but I'm sure they're big over there. Said in a statement, it's a waste of time, and of course people might roll their eyes at incidents in the future and think, oh, is it true or is it not? Well, yeah, that's the whole problem with fake hate crimes, is that one, you whip people up. Really, two things happen. One, you whip people up into a frenzy thinking that there's far more hate than there really is because they've been staged. Two, when somebody has a legitimate issue, like the case in Indiana, you get people like me who go, I don't know. Seems a little weird. Why would you spray paint the backside of the garbage can enclosure and not just go to the wall of the building? And then we have a whole debate about it, and it becomes a thing. So yeah, it's absolutely a waste of time. It's certainly a waste of energy. Everybody's getting upset about this. Everybody's going out there. All of the time and the effort that was put into collecting donations for this family, all of those people, all of their efforts, again, totally in vain, because they have been defrauded by these people who are just trying to get attention and possibly get some money out of it as well. And here's another thing. Can we just stop raising money for people who have people do or say mean things to them? I'm at the point now where, okay, I don't care that your feelings were hurt. All right. It's like the bus driver. You know, the school bus driver lady from, was it 4 or 5 years ago? The school bus driver lady gets cursed out by this 12-year-old girl. And what did we do? We made her rich with a crowdfunding campaign. The whole goal was to send her on vacation initially, and then we ended up giving her 6 figures or some crap like that. Why? Because some kid said something mean to her? So what? If we stop raising money for people who are in this situation because somebody was mean to them, then they'll stop pretending that people were mean to them because they're not going to get any money anymore. It's all right if you want to go ahead and show your public support for people, but stop giving them money because that's what motivates people to defraud you. All right. What do we got here? Go to 953mnc.com. Got a bunch of news stories up there. Of course, you can listen to us live streaming right there on the website. We are live streaming on YouTube at youtube.com/KC the and at twitch.tv/KC the. More coming up on News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel.
KC Hendrickson.
News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel.
Your breaking news and weather station.
Weather served up by the prime table in Niles.
Kim Fox is in trouble.
Exceptional food, tremendous service, and great people.
She is in trouble. This judge ripped her a new one this week.
Now, home comfort experts, your air conditioning professionals, 5-day forecast.
Another soggy day in store with scattered showers in our forecast, especially coming widespread as we get to this afternoon and evening.
By the way, you can thank Gavin McInnes for all of this. So you've got Gavin McInnes. He's falsely accused by the Southern Poverty Law Center of being a white supremacist hate group with the Proud Boys. Okay, he files a lawsuit. The founder is out. The president of the organization is out. Their chief legal counsel is out. The person they replaced them with is tied to Michelle Obama and was the individual responsible for getting the charges dropped against Jussie Smollett. So the new person over at the Southern Poverty Law Center is already in scandal. It's a mess over there right now, and it's all because of Gavin McInnes.
Thanks to the latest technological upgrades. But whether you already subscribe or you want to
Is this I'm a pasty white guy. Somebody crowdfund me. Dude, okay, first of all, KFC's good. Don't get me wrong. When it comes to fast food, chicken Popeyes is the best. It's not even close. Not even remotely close. Spicy, better crisp, better crunch on there. Just overall, just better. Popeye's chicken is so flipping good. So good. I just had a Twitch comment come through. Oh, you know what? Son of a gun. Boom. All right, we'll throw up Twitch. I did just have a Twitch comment come through, though. Well, that's weird. Why did Twitch go away? Huh. All right, well, it says I'm streaming on Twitch again. Hey, Twitch, welcome back. Don't know what happened. Hell yeah, Team Popeyes. I did Popeyes with somebody. We did a business meeting, I don't know, it was like 2 months ago. And I hadn't had Popeyes in forever. And, God, I was so happy I was in there. All right, the tossed salad comment was really funny, Roland. I didn't get a chance to talk about it last time. Casey, the Dems introduced the term cock holster. They did. Chicken has bone in it. Are you going to deny me the hilarity of using these terms in a creative way? No, you just can't do it on the show. You can do it on your own, just not on my show. That's true. I remember the whole cock holster thing. That was an interesting... It was another one of those deals where you're going to harp on Trump's political rhetoric, and yet you had that. God, you can't stay away from the Game of Thrones posts. Can't do it. It's impossible. It's like the only show that's watched live anymore. House Democrats earmarked $50 million to study gun violence. Yeah, the president tried to study gun violence, and Democrats opposed him. Remember that? Yeah, he tried. They opposed him. What do we have here? Everybody praising Antifa all of a sudden again. You see, like, some lady, she had to go, like, to the hospital or something for the correspondence dinner. Like, glad Trump wasn't there. Jeez, he would have been pegged for that. Flint councilman berates Muslim reporter. Interesting. Okay, I will. Okay, people are asking me to talk about the friggin' beluga whale. Okay, I'll talk about the damn whale.
And good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. Once again, I want to thank our sponsors, Second Amendment Arms and Range, located in New Carlisle. They've got 10 lanes for you to shoot things with. Okay? Go down there, rifle and pistol. Mention me, you get half off your range time. You pick up great ammo, great targets, great accessories, even awesome firearms at listener-exclusive discounts. You just got to drop my name when you go to Second Amendment Arms and Range. Go to secondamendmentarms.net to get more information and to contact them. Casey, my husband was on a southern state construction job. When he brought watermelon to the job site, his black supervisor said, "You whites like watermelon too?" Everybody likes watermelon, except for a couple of weirdos, okay? This is the thing, man. It's like we for the most part, we all like the staples. And it's just kind of interesting that all of a sudden, those things have become bigoted. And that's ridiculous. All right. People are harassing me about this. So fine, I will do it. I had it on the docket today. I didn't know when I was going to talk about it, but I will talk about it now, so you leave me alone. The Russian whale, okay? Ahab's got to get his whale, his big old white beluga whale, also known as a mermaid, has been spotted off of the coast of Norway. Maybe an escaped Russian military experiment, according to the speculation from Norwegian officials. I want you to understand something. We got no idea if this is true, okay? We got no clue if any of this is true or not. I wouldn't be surprised. We have weaponized dolphins before. I wouldn't be surprised if the Russians are weaponizing beluga whales, although I didn't know the beluga whales were in Russia because I don't know much about them other than they are mermaids. The whale was found swimming off of the Norwegian coast wearing a strange tight harness on its body, which upon closer inspection led investigators to believe that there may be a possible connection to the Russian military. Fisherman Jor Heston jumped into the water to remove the harness from the whale on Friday, discovering that some lettering on the straps read Equipment St. Petersburg. Okay. Can you buy equipment from St. Petersburg? Like, is that something you can do? Because we can buy a bunch of Russian stuff here, so I don't know. We were going to put out nets when we saw a whale swimming between the boats. Heston told the Norwegian news outlet NRK. It came over to us, and as it approached, we saw that it had some sort of a harness on it. Fellow fisherman Ree Wiig said that people in Norway's military have shown great interest in the whale's harness. The whale was demonstrating very strange behavior by seemingly pursuing the fishing vessel and going so far as to pull at ropes and straps on board, according to The Guardian. Well, that's interesting. A little video of the whole thing as well. Marine experts in Norway are now speculating that the whale could be part of an underwater mammal military program founded by the Russian Navy. Martin Biu, B-I-U-W, of the Institute of Marine Research in Norway, says if this whale comes from Russia, and there is great reason to believe it, then it is not Russian scientists, but rather the Navy that has done it. But the Russian Navy doesn't have scientists. Anyway, Auden Rickardsson, professor at the Department of Arctic and Marine Biology at the Arctic University of Norway, told NRK that we know that in Russia they have had domestic whales in captivity, and also that some of these have apparently been released. Then they often seek out boats. He said the Russian scientists contacted him, that those responsible are most likely the Russian Navy in Murmansk. So, again, the U.S. has done this. I know that we've done it with dolphins. We've probably done it with belugas as well. Who knows? We probably still have a program that's ongoing with this. I think I read something about it not too long ago, but they think that this beluga whale was a part of a Russian experiment or program or something of that nature. What the nature of that program is, I don't know. I don't know that anybody knows, and a lot of this could be just pure speculation. So basically they're saying that this beluga whale mermaid thing escaped the Russians and was able to swim to safety with the fishermen, but for some strange reason... Okay, so the whale was smart enough to escape the Russian military, but dumb enough to go after fishing boats instead of military vessels. I'm just asking questions. I don't know a lot about what's going on here. Nobody does. It's important that we keep that into perspective. Let's see. Recent research conducted in Murmansk Sea Biology Research Institute in northern Russia was allegedly testing whether beluga whale could be used to guard entrances to naval bases. Well, clearly this one can't, as well as assist deep water divers and, if necessary, kill any strangers who enter their territory, according to The Guardian, who may or may not have accurate information about this. But nonetheless, we get to talk about Russia. And anytime we talk about Russia and go for the sentimental angle of them abusing beluga whales, although for all we know, the whale was really well treated. It's entirely possible. Just has some clothes now, as opposed to being naked. But nothing seems to be too wrong with that. But they did call it a tight harness, so maybe that's their way of saying that they were abusing the animal. But again, possible that the dolphins that we train have to go to war with the beluga whales that Russia trains at some point in the future. And there will be a great sea battle in which one of those aminals will then decide to take over the earth and get on land and conquer all of us. So there you go. Beluga whales, dolphins, we're all going to die. All right, so what do we have here? We got robots, we got aliens, we've got beluga whales, and we have dolphins. What else do we have that's trying to kill us? Crab people. So you got the crab people. There's a couple of other things out there, I'm sure of it. All right, 574-25-95-95-3. That is 2595-953. Can also send a text message to 45364. Please put MNC at the beginning of that message. What do we have coming up here? People are asking me when I'm going to do the Clinton story. All right, so that is going to happen soon, but probably at 5 o'clock. All right, so we'll probably do it at 5 o'clock. Or at least in the 5 o'clock hour, we'll talk about the Clinton official who has pled guilty to working with Chinese spies. Uh-oh. What, they didn't tell you that one? That's kind of strange how that didn't happen. But yeah, so it should be all over the news. It's not all over the news, but we'll talk about that. Yes, it's a real story. We'll get to that a little bit later on. People are asking us about it. All right, so I'm going to talk about this airline situation here next, because I know that a lot of you fly, and I know that as we come into vacation time, people are starting to look at travel. I know that we are, and there's been a lot of interesting things showing up at the various trade shows and stuff that looks like it's going to be going into airliners now in the future, which some of it, frankly, terrifies me. And we'll talk about some of those things with an article from David Lazarus from the Los Angeles Times coming up in just a couple of minutes. MNC News Time is 4:31. It is time to check out Masters Heating and Air Conditioning online at mastersheatpool.com. Masters gets there faster.
This is Michiana.
Oh, the large praying mantis. I forgot about the large praying mantis. Doop it doop it doop it doop it doop it doop it doop. Oh yeah. I've heard him talk about it before. I've talked about it. His kids are a mess.
Exported $47.9 billion. That's according to the Northwest Indiana Times. It breaks down to 870 companies exporting 39.
LaPierre got reelected to the NRA post, which we know. Everybody expected that to happen.
Exports have grown about 70% faster than its GDP. More than $19 billion.
Larry King did not have a heart attack, according to his spokesperson, so there you go. Trump served Chick-fil-A to Baylor women's basketball team. So he's maintaining the motif, ladies and gentlemen. Still doing it. Man, New York Times is in trouble on this anti-Semitic cartoon mess. You see the cartoon artist today is defending himself? Got the Anti-Defamation League out there going, apologies not enough. Like I said, they published a second anti-Semitic cartoon after they pulled this one and issued the non-apology apology.
Weather served up by the Prime Table. Start your morning routine with the Prime Table in Nile. This week's special, all pancakes and pancake combos are half off from 6:30 to 10:30 a.m. Wake up and go to the Prime Table.
I'll bet he does, Kevin. I'll bet he does. Just like he did them Cheetos.
Scattered showers again for today with temperatures warming up to 55 degrees.
Yeah, the second cartoon was insane too. It was, I don't know what the hell they were thinking.
Wednesday, another rainy day with scattered showers and thunderstorms both in our forecast, but temperatures will start to warm up near 70 degrees. In the ABC 57 First Warning Neighborhood Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Kennedy.
News protected by CX Sky.
I'd have to look all that. I don't remember all of the weird relationship stuff that's happening out there, but I mean, I have no doubt that, because Biden had tried to kind of push his family as a sort of a Kennedy-esque type deal. I think a lot of the swamp creature families have, the Bushes have, the Clintons have. So there's a few of them that have really tried to push that. They want to be the next Kennedys, if you will. And didn't the Kennedys make their money with organized crime? Isn't that how they made their money? I mean, didn't they run alcohol during Prohibition? Pretty sure they did. But I mean, don't quote me on it. I have to double check it.
Millions of dollars over the last several years and is now asking for $20 million more?
Well, yes, I can't understand why they think that's okay, but also how easy it will be for everyone in Elkhart Community Schools District to save on having to pay this 341% increase by simply voting no on this referendum on May 7th.
You could save a bundle by voting no on the 2019.
Oh, Dylan Roof got death, by the way. I'm surprised that story is not everywhere. So he got sentenced to death. Is Haley Bieber, is that what's his bucket's wife? Yeah. Okay, so it is. Supermodel Haley Bieber hit back at critics on Sunday who claimed that she was looking too tan in pictures from her vacation with husband Justin Bieber. She looks too tan. Oakley dokley. He seems like he's losing his mind, though. I wouldn't be surprised if Justin Bieber kills himself. I'm not wishing for it. I'm not saying that would be a good thing. I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised. He seems like he's... I know that he's talked about having depression and some mental issues and stuff. He just doesn't seem like a happy dude at all. Just doesn't seem like a happy dude. I hope he gets help. To have all of that and to not be able to enjoy it is crazy.
Maybe to take cash out of your home with a Quicken Loans 30-year fixed rate mortgage. The rate today on our 30-year fixed rate mortgage is 4.5%. APR 4.78%. Call us today at 800 Quicken or go to Rocket Mortgage.
RCP average has Pete Buttigieg in 4th place.
Weather forecasts are everywhere, and that can be overwhelming. What makes the 5 working meteorologists of ABC 57 First Warning Neighborhood Weather different? They're not just behind a desk staring at a computer or in front of a green wall.
Ah, okay.
Actively pursuing it. They're teaching your kids how to stay safe, letting you know how the forecast will impact you. If you just want to put a number, watch another station. See the difference with ABC 57 First Warning Neighborhood Weather.
Halfway through the show? Man. Oh, my new microphone. Yes, my new microphone works. My Purple Panda microphone is functional. So I bought a Purple Panda microphone to do my moto vlogging with. So I had a microphone in my helmet, which attaches to my GoPro. So I can ride around on my motorcycle and chit-chat with y'all about stuff. And it wasn't working. I kept plugging it into smartphones, wasn't working. And I because the motorcycle was in the garage for the winter with the snow and everything, I really didn't work on it. And so I thought I was just setting it up wrong. It turns out that it was a faulty microphone. So I contacted Purple Panda. It's like a $30 lavalier microphone. You get a ton of accessories. And I contacted them. I bought the last microphone in November of last year on Amazon. They sent me a whole new kit. Just really good customer service over at Purple Panda. And sent me a whole new kit, plugged it in, works great, sounds awesome. So I've got to get it all wired up on my motorcycle helmet now, and then I'll be able, the next time I get some weather to ride, which will be like next week, I think, we'll be able to do a moto vlog, like an actual moto vlog, guys. I'm going to ride a motorcycle and talk to you all. How cool is that? And then what I got to do is find people to ride with Senna's, and then we can talk to each other in the Senna device. Dude, it's coming.
And good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. I am your host, Casey Hendrickson. Phone number 574-2595-95.3. That is 2595-953. Casey, did you hear about the Antifa people trying to buy guns from the cartel? Yes, I'm well aware of it. Had the story yesterday. Plan on getting to it in the 5 o'clock hour today, so don't go anywhere. This is in particular interesting because of Biden and Cuomo here this week praising Antifa, in spite of the fact that Antifa has actually been declared a terrorist organization, but at least by one state. All right, this is the Anchorage Daily News. A glimpse of how bad things really could get was provided the other day at the Aircraft Interiors Expo 2019 trade show in Hamburg, Germany. That is not where hamburgers come from. The event featured plenty of innovations intended to make air travel more comfortable for those who can afford top dollar trimmings, including first class and business class seats with lots of amenities. And then there was the Italian seat manufacturer Avio Interiors, but it's one word, which displayed the latest iteration of its Skyrider standing seat. Now, I have to pause there. Okay, this thing terrifies me. Joe, have you ever seen the standing seat? No? Google airline standing seat. This specific seat is Skyrider, but you are going to... This is what air travel could be in the near future when you see pictures of this thing. If you're in front of a computer right now, do it. Airline standing seat or Skyrider. Look at it. It's horrifying looking. You will be standing on an airplane and leaning against a seat. So you're kind of... Okay, I want you to think of it this way. It's hard to explain without a picture. All right, you know those chairs that come up to help people who are older or have a disability to get out of the chair? They can't get out of it like a normal horizontal chair. So it lifts up and kind of nudges you out. And it kind of sits there. What is that, like a 30-degree angle? Something like that? That's the seat. So it has a back on it, and instead of the seat coming out completely at a 90-degree angle, it's kind of like at a 30-degree angle. So you're standing up, and you just kind of put your butt on the seat, and it just provides a little bit of relief, so you're not standing the entire time. So basically, you're leaning up against a wall the entire flight. And they think that this is going to be the wave of the future for economy class seating. Now, there are some airlines out there that have said that they are going to go with a super economy section, which is you got your normal economy seating. They're going to cut that like in half and then have a super cheap section where you're going to start finding stuff like this. Okay, so you can travel cheaper. They can cram more people into the airplane. And then our air tragedies will have a higher body count. And then everybody will be uncomfortable. But the good news is that if you're in one of these things, you'll probably be happy that your airplane is going down in flames because it's going to be miserable. It's an idea that the company unveiled about a decade ago, keeps refining to make it more appealing to airlines. Imagine a bicycle seat with a lightly padded upright piece of plastic to lean against. It's pretty much the Skyrider, which Avio Interiors is hoping will be the hot ticket for carriers looking to cram even more seats into economy class cabins, particularly for shorter flights. So, yeah. But like I said, we talked about this last year at some point. Airlines are looking at adding another section, which is like a sub-economy section. Okay, this is where you are going to be like sardined up in there. Okay, you have just enough for your knees to barely be able to bend. I mean, it's horrible looking. But airlines are looking at adding that to get more people on there with a cheaper flight. Okay, so they're looking at kind of making first class more comfortable, business class better, and then you'll have the the normal economy seats, but then you'll have like the super economy seats where you can have all the sniveling kids and everything else. And I mean, flying is not cheap anyway. Occasionally you get some good deals and things like that, but yeah, they're just going to pack everybody in there. Skyrider is concept foundation of a new way to travel in the short haul routes, the company declares in passable English on its website. Innovation is driving Avio Interiors in developing a new concept of a family of economy seats. Yeah, no. I mean, this thing is horrible looking. So at flyersrights.org, which is an advocacy group, didn't we have the airline customers bill of rights thing? Didn't that pass last time Democrats held Congress? I got to go back and look at that. I have no doubt. Hold on a second. Which makes me comfortable. Okay. Considering the Avio Interiors has been steadily tweaking the design to meet carrier and regulatory requirements, I'm figuring they're serious about getting this product into the aviation marketplace. That's the Anchorage Daily News, which makes me comfortable. And that's not a word that otherwise applies to this column. In believing it's just a matter of time before we start seeing, if not the Skyrider, then some other variation of a bare bones torture chamber apparatus that will be passed off as a boon to budget-minded passengers. Again, this is the Anchorage Daily News. I like this writer. I have no doubt at all, agreed Kate Haney, the founder of flyersrights.org, an advocacy group. If the airlines can get away with shoving more seats onto a flight, they'll do it. As for Skyrider seats, she said, there has to be interest among airlines. There's no way they're not interested in something like this. In Delta's case, the airline is testing reduced recline seats in its entire A320 fleet. None of the seats should recline in an airplane anymore, unless you're in first class or business class. It's time to get rid of the reclining seats already. The idea, Delta insists, isn't to squeeze more seats into the economy cabin. Sure. It's all about protecting customers' personal space and minimizing disruptions and multitasking in flight. That is Savannah Huddleston, a company spokeswoman. Again, you should get rid of all reclining seats unless it's in first class or business class. No seat in an airplane in the economy cabin should recline, period. That's just how it should be. So, yeah. If you haven't seen pictures of this thing, look it up. Skyrider, one word. Or you can probably just search for like airline standing seat or something like that. It looks absolutely awful. We'll take some of your phone calls on this coming up. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel.
Hendrickson.
News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel.
House Bill 1585, sneaky gun control legislation.
For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, just call the Prime Table. Reserve tables for your next gathering.
Federal?
Another soggy day in store with scattered showers in our forecast, especially coming widespread this afternoon into the evening. The temperature's warming up to about 55 degrees. For Wednesday, we'll have more scattered showers in our forecast.
1585 is in a bunch of different states.
Could have a couple stronger
So
for Thursday, we'll have a few more showers as we wrap up the fourth and final day of rain. With temperatures at 65, we cool down some for Friday, but at least we'll finally get to see some sunshine in your forecast. The daytime highs topping out near 60. Overall, it looks like a pretty nice week. Temperatures remaining in the 60s. You have a chance for a few showers.
HR, not HB. HR. Okay. Karen Bass did it, huh? Ugh, Karen Bass is a piece of work. All right, so anyway. Text of the bill. HR 1585. Reauthorize the Violence Against Women Act of 1994 and for other purposes. Okay. I'll have to read it. I have to go through it. Oh, save failed. Fine. Screw you.
New truck? Yeah, but why does your truck look so much better than mine? I took mine to the truck headquarters. Z-Bart of South Bend. What did they do? They undercoated it.
You know, we don't even need airplanes anymore. We just need beluga whales. from Russia, and they can carry us on their harness.
For 7 years. That can't be it. Then they tinted my windows.
YouTube censored your comment, huh?
And even got some milk bars so the wife can get in it too. Where are you going? I'm taking
All right,
my
so refresh that.
Pass that on. See if he has anything to say.
Your truck should look and function exactly how you want it to. And Z-Bar to South Bend makes it all possible as your truck headquarters. Visit Z-Bar to South Bend or call 574-232-2073.
Yeah, being 5'3" would help you out. Without a doubt.
All right.
What do you need done on your
All right, we'll do that.
The basement could be finished. The kitchen needs updated.
No, I don't want to print the article. You moon fart.
That's what you call
Jesus. Okay, here we go.
Come to your home with vision and experience that leads to some of the finest projects done in the area. Graber is a family name and it's put on every project they do. There are no corners to cut. Everything is measured to
B-dubs. Going back and doing the research I'm too lazy to do. Good for you, man.
truly custom projects. When you see your new addition in your mind and meet with the Graber team, you begin to see what custom really means. Whether you're restoring a 100-year-old farmhouse, creating your ultimate living space, taking your kitchen to the next level,
God,
make it custom and make it a family. Call on the Graber
Every time I see this thing, it just, you know, it looks like an unsafe version of those hanging roller coaster seats.
Yeah, that's immediately what I thought of when I saw it.
And it looks, first of all, it looks like it's going to hurt your nuts, okay, the entire flight. Like, I'm pretty sure I am going to sing at a higher octave by the time I get off of that thing. Hold on.
And good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. Newstalk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. I am your host, Casey Hendrickson. Phone number 574-2595-95.3. That is 2595-953. You can also send a text message to 45364. Please put MNC at the beginning of that message. So I'm looking at these I'm looking at more picture of the Skyrider. Which, by the way, if you are a male, I don't think that your berries are going to be very comfortable in this seat. But I might be willing to support Ocasio-Cortez on banning flight now. Like, if this becomes a standard seat, like, I think I'm okay with just getting rid of flying altogether. Anyway, to the phone lines we go. Kevin, welcome to the program. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
What's up?
Well, as somebody who I'm flying now for my job, I go out around the country in Canada about twice a month, and I'm to the point now where I think they ought to just do like they do in Fifth Element. They put you in a tube.
Oh, I love that movie.
Put you in, and it would make life a whole lot easier. You don't have to go through TSA because you're unconscious.
Yeah.
And then when you get there, you just like open up the bottom of the plane like a Bombay door. You drop everybody off, and there you are. Have a nice day.
You know, and the thing, like, I'm looking at this, and there's a really interesting photo in Forbes, and it has the regional manager for the company that is involved in this, and of course, she is extremely good looking. And she is sitting in the front seat, and the dorky-looking guy is in the back, and it looks like she's giving him a lap dance. Now, she's just sitting in the chair, but it looks like she's giving him a lap dance, and he looks pretty happy about it. I mean, you're basically spooning the person in front of you. And this is going to be uncomfortable for everybody, but I'm trying to imagine an obese person dealing with this now because...
Well, I'm 6'4", so my knees are into.
Yeah, you're gonna need some space. But I mean, this thing looks so horribly uncomfortable. And every year, I think I look at it, post about it or something. And it's just every year it gets worse and worse and worse. It's awful.
Fifth Element.
I'm with you, dude. Hey, let's do it. Let's do the Stones and everything, man. All right, buddy.
Yep, exactly.
Appreciate it. Take care.
Thanks.
One of the greatest movies of all time, by the way. Multipass. All right. Warren, welcome to the program. Good afternoon.
Casey, you are an evil, sadistic son of a gun.
Have you seen this thing?
I've seen that thing, but I'm telling you right now, if you're going to ban any kind of reclining on airline seats, you need to be dragged out into the street.
Oh, dude, no. Reclining is awful. Okay, if you recline on me, can I at least put some chicken wire around your throat and strangle you to death?
Well, that might be less painful than flying on an unreclined seat.
Well, I agree it's painful, but...
Yeah, I'll tell you what, how about a compromise? We put in some standards on you have to have at least 4 inches of leg room from a 6-foot-tall person sitting in the seat upright with their back against it instead of that half-inch you get. And the seats have to be wide enough that somebody like me who has reasonably broad shoulders doesn't have to pull an arm off and store it in the overhead compartment in order to fit in the stupid seat.
That's kind of where I'm at. Like, I always have to scrunch my arms forward, and I'm always doing like that forward fold thing. And yeah, it's annoying.
I have to get the window seat because then the window gives me a real pocket that I can put a shoulder in.
That's where I go. Yeah, I do the same. And you can kind of lean into it a little bit because of the angle of the fuselage, and yeah, it just kind of helps out.
And your back is all twisted up, and so as soon as if you hit rough air or anything like that, you're getting a trip to the chiropractor when you're done. But no, it's out of control. It's out of hand. You've got planes that were made for 2, maybe 3 rows in it that have 4 and 5 rows of seats. You're stacked in there tighter than sardines.
Yeah.
And now they want to put these. How are you going to do a bicycle seat? There's nothing to hold you in place. So when you hit really rough air and that plane's bouncing back and forth, what's going to keep you from smacking into the people in front of and beside you?
Okay, so this is where I think the uncomfortableness of the male anatomy is coming in. So there is a bicycle seat, okay, but it doesn't look like a bicycle seat. It's kind of hard to describe. You have 2 pockets on the side that are kind of loops where your thighs go. And then you have like a hill in the middle, which kind of looks like a bicycle seat backwards, though. So the pointy end is facing your backside, if you will, and then the wider end is in the front. So it's really designed to grip your anatomical orifice and hold that in place. And it looks like there's a guy on one of these pictures who is sitting on this thing, and he looks like he is smiling because it's a promo shot, but he looks very uncomfortable. And it just looks like it's designed to kind of grab you by the lap area, if you will, and hold you in place as a torture device. That's what it looks like.
Right.
Yeah.
And what stops you from flopping backwards into the lap of the person behind you?
Well, you have the back, okay? So you have the back, which is like a piece of plastic with a tiny little cushion on it that's just vertical. And then this thing comes off at like a 30-degree angle or whatever it is. And then so your back doesn't recline anyway. It's just straight. They think that they can get 3 rows of these in the space of 1 seat. Yeah.
So what they're saying is they want to break the tailbone of every one of their passengers.
Yeah, this would kill my tailbone. Yeah.
Turbulence.
Yeah, this would. As somebody's got fused discs there, yeah, this would kill me.
Yeah, I've got disc problems too, but I've been on planes where you just get in, put in some Megadeth, and start banging your head on the seat because the turbulence is so bad, and that's all you can do.
You know,
what do you think this is going to do?
This is bad. But I think they've been doing this for like a decade or something, they said. So I mean, they're making grounds. There's going to be a market for it somewhere, and I'm sure that you're going to find some budget airlines in the U.S. where you're going to do this. But I could see a huge market for this in third world countries like India and Asia, where there's a huge population and people don't have a lot of money. But, you know, people take some time, go and Google what the inside of aircraft looked like, you know, back when airline flight was really getting going. and how everybody basically had a Bauca launcher. You could smoke. You had drinks. The flight attendants had a good 4 feet of aisle to walk with. I mean, it was just a totally different ball game back then. But
oh yeah, it was completely different in the early '80s when I first started flying.
It's getting nuts, dude.
And
it's crazy.
It's beyond insane, and they just keep saying, "Well, this is what the market demands." What sick and twisted sons of guns are demanding this?
Yeah, I don't know anybody demanding it. I really don't. But yeah, if you haven't seen pictures of it, dude, go look it up. It's horrible. It's awful. You'll understand what I mean by using the friction to grab your what's to keep you in place. You'll understand what I mean by that.
Well, you don't dare move, do you?
No, you're frozen in place, man. You're frozen in place. You're not going anywhere. All right, I got to roll.
Yeah, that's right. Okay,
appreciate it. All right. Look this thing up. I'm telling you, it's awful. It is absolutely awful. Of course, I'll put it in the Daily Show Prep today at theburningtruth.us. We're live streaming on YouTube. Go to youtube.com/CaseyTheHost or twitch.tv/CaseyTheHost. We got more coming up on Newstalk 95.3, Michiana's news channel.
So awful. God, this thing just medieval torture device, man. All right, so I'll put a couple of the other photos in the Daily Show Prep for you all because there's plenty of photos of it. Man, some person criticized my outfit the other day for the Lincoln Day dinner. Like, is that what you know what? I'm a grown man. I wear whatever the hell I want. You don't like it? Don't follow me. Where's that dude who's on here, though? There's the uncomfortable-looking Asian guy. He looks familiar, though. I swear I know him from somewhere. Means nothing to any of you because you're not seeing his picture. But I swear I know who that guy is. Okay, so where is the... Just trying to get you guys a picture of the actual seat. There we go. Ugh. God, that looks awful. Sardines Air, there you go. No, I wore really nice jeans. I wore my Chucks, and I had a black shirt with a brown velvet-like coat, sport coat. My suit is jacked up, and I don't have any other nice clothes because they're all in storage. But I look professional. I look fine. But it's just like, I don't know who the hell gets to come on and comment about what somebody else wears on something. It's like, who are you? Like, why should I even care what you think about anything? But yeah, it is what it is. Oh. The photo of the lady giving the dude a lap dance didn't download, so I gotta download it again. All right. Come on, lap dance lady. There you are. There you are. Okay, so. No, there we go.
repeat, a point behind her at 7%. The 19-year-old man found shot and injured outside a friend's place.
It was the jeans. Oh, wow. A friend of mine, we actually did a topic about this. A friend of mine, who was my co-host at the time, we were at an event. And this lady came up to her and told her she needed to lose weight and she would look better when she did public appearances. And it was like, what? Like, what the hell are you doing? Like, what are you even talking about? Some people just, man, they just don't have any couth. You know what I mean? Just no couth. There we go. Inappropriate lap dance lady. All right. Got it in there. Okay. Well, so far, Listly is actually working out really, really well. And I dig what it is doing. So hopefully this will work as a good show prep alternative for how I handle all this stuff. Oh, got to get Babylon B in there. All right, I haven't hopped onto Discord in a while. This not having internet is killing me. I mean, with that said, I have spent more time with my kids, so blessing, I guess.
She's the one who changed your dirty diapers. She's the one who picked up your toys. She's also the one who...
Well, he did a thing. Didn't, like, Mayor Pete, like, do a whole I have to address the violence in South Bend thing after the shooting? But he's never done that. Like, all of a sudden, he's doing these, oh, I have to address what happened. And it's like, how come you've never done it before? Why are you just doing it now? Obnoxious Snopes writer keeps fact-checking people's jokes at parties. That's funny. That's really funny. That's good stuff right there.
What a great child you are. My books are also a great way to tell her how much she means to you.
My eyes burn. My eyes were really burning today with the rain.
Visit Parkwood Auto Spa on Edison and Mishawaka and Ireland Road in South Bend or online at parkwoodautoSpa.com.
Hi, I'm Jay from America's largest mortgage lender. Spring is prime home buying season, so if you're thinking about buying a home right now,
What the hell? I think Facebook changed my page around again.
On your new mortgage. With our exclusive Rate Shield approval, the low rate you lock today is protected for up to 90 days while you shop for your new home. With a Rate Shield approval,
Yep.
you get that new, even lower rate. Either way, you win. Talk to us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com to take advantage. Here's another great reason.
Well, I did go formal all out for me.
JD has right Quicken Loans, highest in the nation in customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. Again, to lock in today's low mortgage interest rate and get the security of our exclusive.
The thing is that, you know, we live in a society where a sport coat and really good jeans is acceptable formal attire. So, you want me in a tux, you buy me a tux. All right, here we go.
And good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. I am your host, Casey Hendrickson. Phone number 574-25-95-95.3. That is 25-95-953. You can also send a text message to 45364. Please put MNC at the beginning of that message. All right. So we did the Pete Buttigieg chicken, the fried chicken dealio today because he didn't know how to eat fried chicken again. I don't know what is it, pasty white liberals and not knowing how to eat fried chicken. But this also happened to him. And by the way, I just want to point this out. it's amazing to me that this ends up being a news story with the coverage that it has gotten. I expected to get coverage here, but I'm talking about nationally. Whereas other false attempts to smear people with sexual assault claims don't get that kind of coverage. Far-right smear merchants try to slime Pete Buttigieg with bogus sex assault claim. That's the Daily Beast. Of course, we got the story at 953mnc.com. The mayor was briefly accused of assaulting a young man. A GOP source says that right-wing operative Jacob Wohl and Jack Berkman approached him to make similarly untrue accusations. A pair of right-wing provocateurs are being accused of attempting to recruit young Republican men to level false allegations of sexual assault against Democratic presidential candidate Pete Buttigieg, who is fourth in the RCP average, by the way. The details of the operative's attempt emerged as one man suddenly surfaced with a vague and uncorroborated allegation that Buttigieg had assaulted him. Okay, now you notice, and here's the thing, by the way, I'm totally against anybody being falsely accused of any of this, but I'm just purely commenting on the way that the media is behaving, all right? The allegations appear to be completely fabricated, and anybody who fabricates something like this, I believe, needs to be punished with the legal system, okay? But I'm purely commenting on the media's behavior here, okay? So the Daily Beast, which is a huge left-wing publication, but the Daily Beast is all about right-wing Republican men, false accusations, all of this stuff, right? So they keep doing all of this, the operatives, uncorroborated allegation and everything else. You know how many vague and uncorroborated allegations against Republicans the Daily Beast has gone on board with without even a smidgen of pause to even research the claim? Isn't it interesting how they cover it, though? And like I said, it's, we should have a healthy skepticism of all of these charges until there's proof of guilt. That's the whole thing. Innocent until proven guilty. But I'm just looking at this and I'm going, it's kind of interesting how this got covered. It really is interesting how this got covered. Everybody, right at the forefront, right-wing this, Republican this, just immediately, because now you can create a branding issue and you can attack the other side by pointing out that somebody had made this stupid attempt to falsely accuse him of sexual assault. By the way, the claim is retracted. It's totally bogus, but Republican source told the Daily Beast that lobbyist Jack Berkman and internet troll Jacob Wohl approached him last week to try to convince him to falsely accuse Buttigieg, the mayor of South Bend, Indiana, of engaging him sexually while he was too drunk to consent. A source who spoke to the Daily Beast said that Berkman and Wohl made clear that their goal was to kneecap Buttigieg's momentum in the 2020 presidential race. Okay, now, again, why is the Daily Beast so outraged about this? Now, I know that that's a facetious question, okay? What's interesting about why this is out there and how they're covering it is they don't provide the same level of visceral reaction when there's a vague, uncorroborated claim against a Republican. They just go with it, right? And we've seen the Daily Beast do this repeatedly, along with other media outlets. So they just run with that. This one, they're really upset about, and they've really pointed out that it's vague and uncorroborated. Two, the Daily Beast and other media publications have weaponized vague and uncorroborated accusations against a lot of politicians as a form of political normalcy. And we talk about this all the time. You're going to be accused of sexual impropriety if you're a Republican running in a major race. It's going to happen. Okay? Make no mistake, it will happen. They were gearing up against Rubio and Ted Cruz and Jeb Bush, actually, in the last primary with Donald Trump. We all know what they did with Donald Trump. So you're always going to get that. There was even a case out there where they were going to go after Kasich, just in case Kasich was actually going to get some momentum. But again, the guy eats his pizza sideways, so whatever. But it's just, for me, I'm just looking at this, and it's so transparent. They're angry, right? The Daily Beast is actually angry that this happened to Pete Buttigieg. Whereas they should just be reporting the facts and also highlighting that this happens all the time in politics. Vague, uncorroborated accusations against a major political figure are routine in campaigns. Now, that's really your story. that the story should be, why is this now a normalized political tactic? And does the media have any culpability in this becoming a standard practice? Because they do. Because the Daily Beast and other publications have routinely, again, published vague, and I'm using their language now, the vague and uncorroborated bit. That's what they wrote in this article. They've routinely published vague and uncorroborated accusations against Republicans, and they've repeated the claim. They've written multiple articles about the claim, and they have not questioned the claim, and they just get out there and they go ahead and they smear the Republican candidate. Now, this is a false accusation against Pete Buttigieg, and it should be treated as such, but where's the story on why is this now the normal political procedure? Democrats have used this for decades against Republicans. Are you really surprised that there are some Republican operatives out there who started to use the same tactic? I got news for you. It works. It sucks that it works. It's sad that it works, but the reality is it works. So you're going to have some of the more unethical, because this is politics, people are unethical in politics. I know you're shocked. You're going to have the more unethical people on the right who are political operatives who are going to attempt the same thing. But the left gets away with it, whereas the right is immediately smeared. It becomes a whole thing. Even in our newscast, it's right-wing Republican. It's all over it, right? And that's all true, by the way. It's just kind of interesting how when it's the other way around, it's never presented that way. It's never presented as left-wing activist or Democrat activist or anything like that. They never use the words vague and uncorroborated, even though they might be vague and uncorroborated. It's kind of interesting. I haven't done the deep dive on Pete Buttigieg's Twitter about Kavanaugh. I probably should and see what he wrote about Kavanaugh on there. Again, I don't think that anybody deserves to be falsely accused of this stuff. Nobody. And I think any false accusation of that needs to be dealt with legally. However, the media behavior here is transparently horrible. That's the thing that has to change. So what they should be doing is looking at this and going, why is it that a couple of right-wing provocateurs or whatever, why did they feel that they can do this, and why do they feel motivated to do this against Pete Buttigieg? And the answer to that is because the media, including the Daily Beast, has normalized this type of behavior against Republican candidates for a very long time, and you are going to get to a point where Republicans were going to try it. It's unsavory, it's immoral, it's wrong. It's also politics, and it is the normal process of politics now to accuse somebody of sexual impropriety without any evidence. And the media provides cover so long as the accusations go against the right candidates. They go against the wrong candidates, oh boy, do they get in a huff like the Daily Beast did here today. You got more coming up. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel.
On your radio at 95.3 FM, online at 95.3MNC.com.
Casey Hendrickson.
Doopy-doop-a-doo. All right, put that in the Daily Shoe Pre-Hip.
Weather served up by the Prime Table in Niles. 25 years of exceptional food, tremendous service, and great people. Visit Prime Table today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
Now, home comfort experts, your air conditioning professionals, 5-day forecast.
Our wet week continues.
Right.
We can double down on weekly rainfall.
Let's see here. No, I don't want a photo. Dorks. Okay.
Thunderstorms are likely by Wednesday afternoon, but we'll have a little sunshine in between with a high around 70. Thursday, more rain. Wet week continues, 66. And falling temperatures becoming drier as we head towards Friday. Friday, partly cloudy with a high of 60. Sunny on Saturday with a high of 65. And improving through Sunday with a high of 68 with sunshine for another chance of rain late Sunday into early Monday.
Yep, Clarence Thomas, exactly. Changed my mind.
Weather text alerts are new and improved, customized, and faster than ever. To stay connected, text weather to 45364. Do it right now. Pick the counties you care about and get word of severe weather the very moment the alert is issued. Minutes matter, and that's why we made our weather text alert service better than ever. Again, text weather to 45364 right now. Message and data rates apply. Complete privacy policy and terms and conditions available at
beautiful lawn takes hard work, genuine effort, and consistent fertilizer timing. Or does it? With Stay Green Turf Control, you can have the beautiful lawn you've always wanted without the hassle of figuring out how and when to treat it yourself. Are you done buying the heavy bags of fertilizer at the store, hauling them home, and then hoping you have the chance to put it down at just the right time? If you're like me, you love maintaining your lawn, but you're overwhelmed by the when and how to feed it. Does your lawn look like it's starving? Does it not look as full and green as it could be? You need a lawn that looks healthy and stays green. You need the professional touch of Stay Green Turf Control. With a full line of services, including fertilizing, comprehensive weed control, lawn fungus and insect control, lawn rolling, and aeration. We treat your lawn like it's our own. Find us on Facebook or call 574-904-3025 for a hassle-free quote today.
Did you know that over 90% of male enhancement pills are virtually the same
All
thing
right.
that's repackaged?
Cool. So far, I'm liking Listly. I'm digging how it lets me kind of process these links for your Daily Show Prep post.
Male enhancement into the 21st
All
century.
right.
Something that really works. Men, you need to try Noxatril, the explosive, all-natural male enhancement formula that will unlock your performance in the bedroom to a level
I have heard of the contacts you sleep in, actually.
Try to imagine Viagra on steroids. Noxatril is
Did you see that lady who like kept putting contact lenses in her eyeballs for all those years and had like a bunch of contacts in her eyeball?
Call now and take advantage of our special Noxatril free bottle
They
offer
like peeled them
today.
out.
Oh yeah, we recommend that
They're like
you use the
stacked on
Noxatril
top of each other.
self-directed. Think of your
Maybe it
partner.
wasn't years, maybe it was weeks or months or whatever. Ugh.
Bedroom.
Call now and find out how to get a free bottle of
So bad.
while supplies last. Call 1-800-992-9470. Free bottles for a limited time, so call now. 800-992-9470.
Casey, it sounds like the perfect seat for Unix. There you go. The whale is clearly Trump's Russian contact, and the collusion's missing link. That darn beluga. Beluga even sounds like a treasonous name, doesn't it? Yeah, Alex has got a point. So the Unite the Right leader, Kessler, was a leftist. He was not a Republican. He was an Obama supporter. And that has all been missed in coverage of that.
And good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. I am your host, Casey Hendrickson. Phone number 574-2595-95.3. That is 2595-953. You can also send a text message to 45364. Please put MNC at the beginning of that message. All right. A Clinton official has pled guilty to conspiring with foreign agents, ladies and gentlemen. This is a real story. This comes right from the Department of Justice. Candace Marie Claiborne, a former employee of the U.S. Department of State, pled guilty today to a charge of conspiracy to defraud the United States by lying to law enforcement and background investigators and hiding her extensive contacts with and gifts from agents of the People's Republic of China in exchange for providing them with internal documents from the U.S. State Department. And again, this is a big deal. She worked for both Bill and Hillary Clinton. The announcement was made by Assistant Attorney General for National Security John Demers, U.S. Attorney Jesse Liu of the District of Columbia, and Assistant Director in Charge Nancy McNamara of the FBI's Washington Field Office. The plea took place before the Honorable Randolph D. Moss of the U.S. District Courts for the District of Columbia. By the way, this is at theburningtruth.us, but I got the story from justice.gov. Candace Marie Claiborne traded her integrity and non-public information of the United States government, so meaning classified information, in exchange for cash and other gifts from foreign agents she knew worked for the Chinese intelligence service. That is the Assistant Attorney General Demers. She withheld information and lied repeatedly about these contacts. Violations of the public's trust are an affront to our citizens and to all those who honor their oaths. With this guilty plea, We are one step closer to imposing justice for these dishonorable criminal acts. Candace Claiborne broke the public trust when she accepted gifts and money from foreign officials and then lied about it to the State Department background investigators, according to U.S. Attorney Liu. The United States will continue to seek to hold accountable those who abuse their positions of trust. Candace Claiborne was entrusted with top secret information when she purposefully misled federal investigators about her repeated interactions with foreign contacts, which violated her oath of office as a State Department employee. The FBI will continue to investigate individuals who fail to report foreign contacts, which is a key indicator of potential insider threats posed by those in positions of public trust. A close working relationship with the FBI and the Department of Justice resulted in the conviction of Candace Claiborne, who violated the public trust and damaged our national security. That is the Deputy Assistant Secretary Cologne. Let's see. According to the plea documents, Claiborne, who's 63 years old, began working as an office management specialist for the Department of State in 1999. She served overseas at a number of posts, including embassies and consulates in Baghdad, Iraq, Sudan, and China. As a condition of her employment, she maintained a top secret security clearance. She was required to report any contacts with persons suspected of affiliation with a foreign intelligence agency, as well as any gifts that she received from foreign sources over a certain amount. Despite such a requirement, Claiborne failed to report repeated contacts with two agents from the People's Republic of China and their intelligence service, even though these agents provided tens of thousands of dollars in gifts and benefits to Claiborne and her family over 5 years. The gifts and benefits included cash wired to her USAA account. Oh, she got a USAA account. Chinese New Year's gifts, international travel and vacations, tuition at a Chinese fashion school, a fully furnished apartment, a monthly stipend, and numerous cash payments. Wow. Some of these gifts and benefits were provided directly to Claiborne, while others were provided to a close family member of Claiborne's. In exchange for these gifts and benefits, as stated in the plea documents, Claiborne provided copies of internal documents from the State Department on topics ranging from U.S. economic strategies to visits by dignitaries between the two countries. Claiborne also noted in her journal that she could generate $20,000 in 1 year working with one of the People's Republic of China agents. So she could get about $20,000 for one agent that she worked with per year. That same agent at one point tasked her with providing internal U.S. government analysis on a U.S. Sino-strategic economic dialogue that had just concluded. Claiborne, who confided to a co-conspirator that the People's Republic of China agents were, quote, spies, willfully misled State Department background investigators and FBI investigators about her contacts with those agents, according to the plea agreement. After the State Department and FBI investigators contacted her, Claiborne also instructed her co-conspirator to delete evidence connecting her to the People's Republic of China agents. She was arrested in March of 2017 following the law enforcement investigation. So she has got, so sentencing is scheduled for July 9th, but she has pled guilty. So this came out. Now, I mean, you would assume that this would actually be pretty big news, but it wasn't. So go figure. So she's basically a spy, ladies and gentlemen, and didn't get a lot of notoriety or attention because that story is actually from the 24th. We're just hearing about it. And that unfortunate. All right. 574-2595, 95.3. That is 2595953. You can also send a text message to 45364. Please put MNC at the beginning of that message. The FBI is also investigating Antifa for an alleged plot to buy guns from a Mexican cartel in order to stage, quote, an armed rebellion at the southern border, according to an unclassified document obtained by the Chicago Tribune. Okay, so Joe Biden launched his campaign praising Antifa. All right, so he praised Antifa in his campaign. Now, Antifa, the FBI said, uses domestic terrorist tactics, and the state of New Jersey has actually declared a domestic terrorist organization, and Berkeley, California has declared a street gang. Okay, so when you're running for president, maybe you don't praise a violent organization that various governments, including left-wing governments around the country, are saying, yeah, we don't want anything to do with them anymore. So you even have the Democratic Party backing away and not even acknowledging Antifa exists anymore. So you had CNN's Cuomo praise Antifa, saying that they're fighting the good fight again, which he has repeatedly done, in spite of the fact that Antifa is a violent organization, has no business whatsoever earning any praise among anybody. And now the FBI is investigating Antifa factions who are trying to buy guns from the Mexican cartel in order to launch a rebellion at the southern border. Let's see. The FBI document from December of 2018 warns of militant Antifa activists planning to, quote, disrupt security operations at the U.S.-Mexico border. The group allegedly planned to buy guns from a Mexican cartel associate known as Cobra Commander. Remember when I used to play the Cobra theme song on the show on a regular basis? And Cobra Commander's laugh? I need to bring that back because those are good times. So they were going to buy from this cartel associate known as Cobra Commander in order to stage an armed rebellion at the border, unquote. The source who provided the document to the San Diego Tribune asked the outlet not to publish the 6-page document because the investigation was ongoing, and the outlet cited 2 additional law enforcement officials who then confirmed the news. The FBI has warned dozens of law enforcement agencies in both Mexico and the United States of the alleged plot. 2 of the men named in the report told the San Diego Tribune the allegations were absurd. Doesn't make any sense that somebody from the United States would purchase guns in Mexico, said Ivan Riebling, the man known as Cobra Commander, told the outlet. So the guy that they were apparently going to buy the guns from says, I'm not going to sell guns to them. Why would they buy from me? And the Hondurans certainly didn't bring money to buy guns. It doesn't make any sense. In fact, it's extremely absurd to say the Hondurans wanted to attack the United States at the border. The FBI sent the report marked priority to agencies, including the Department of Homeland Security, U.S. Customs and Border Protection, the CIA, and National Security Administration. So there you go. Got Antifa. They've been named in a plot to buy guns for an armed rebellion at the border. Nice. It's not all of Antifa, though. It's just some Antifa. Like, totally. Yep. Got more coming up. Newstalk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. MNC News Time is 5:31. Time to check out Masters Heating and Air Conditioning online at mastersheatcool.com. Masters gets there faster.
This is Michiana's breaking news.
Well, I don't know what Happy Camper was doing, but it sounds like Happy Camper had a good night. If their mouth was sore, their jaw was swollen, gums were puffy. Good for you, Holmes.
33-year-old Talia Furman of Springfield apologized to the court in Calhoun County. The no contest plea isn't an admission of guilt, but it's treated as such for sentencing. Battle Creek were arrested last year. He's been sentenced to 2 consecutive sentences of 25 to 70 years after pleading no contest.
Sorry.
They're also among several people charged with conspiring to kidnap and kill a child in Branch County.
95.3 MNC's Caleb Hatch reporting. And Senator Todd Young honoring former Senator Richard Lugar on the Senate floor today.
At a time when nuclear proliferation...
You get a lot of hot sauces out west. What's the one that I have right now? I have to look it up. It's got a really funny name on it. Something like, Anal Angst is what it's called. Anal Angst. So I'm sure it's going to taste horrible, but be really, really spicy. Oh my God. I guess Slayer's coming to town or something because there's a whole bunch of people texting Slayer right now. Well, who wouldn't want to buy guns from Cobra Commander? He was the best character on G.I. Joe.
I was always partial to Snake.
Partial listening to what?
I was always partial to Snake Eyes.
I mean, I loved Snake Eyes as, yeah, he was like the coolest character. But the funniest character was clearly Cobra Commander. My nickname was Destro forever because I shaved my head forever. So it's always called Destro. There's been a threefold jump in Democrats who believe there's a border crisis. Interesting. Huh. Teen suicides jumped more than 28% 1 month after 13 Reasons Why was released.
No shit. Sorry, but
it's almost like the media has an impact on people's depression or something. I haven't watched one episode of it.
I wondered if you just got.
When we say food with attitude, what we mean is the finest American-style tapas food in Michigan.
85-year-old Japanese emperor has abdicated the throne.
That is as unique and seasonal as our menu. At Temper Grill,
Catholic scholars are accusing Pope Francis of heresy concerning marriage and sexuality. How about the fact that he sent $500,000 to migrant caravans so they could break our laws? How about that?
Visit Tuesday nights for half-price wine bottles, Wednesday for $2 beer night. Visit Thursdays to check out Roman's ridiculous list, or other evenings Tuesdays through Saturdays with the atmosphere of Temper Grill, with a perfect backdrop for any occasion. Reservations required. 21 and up. Explore our menu.
So they're saying that the royal baby is going to have dual citizenship,
Okay.
which means it's the first time that American's going to be in line for the crown in
Even though
England.
he cheated on her?
Think so? Did he cheat on her? Redhead dude?
Guy who's balding.
No. This is the other dude. No. This is the cool dude. This is the redhead. Yeah, not the dorky one. So Meghan Markle is she's an American, so he married an American. The other lady, she's British.
Oh, is she?
Yeah, she's British. He cheated on her? Really? Must be good to be a prince, because she's like a friggin' 9 and he's a 2.
4. Yeah.
I wouldn't give him a 4. I'd give him a 2.
Yep. Nope. Same thing happened with Princess Diana.
Well, yeah, he treated her like crap. But yeah, Meghan Markle, she's an American. She's an actress in Hollywood, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought it
so
was that couple, but
no. So yeah, Prince Harry. Prince Harry is the one that she's married to.
no, that is not.
Yeah, so that kid's gonna possibly have dual citizenship because she's American, he's British, obviously. So it could be the first time that Americans been in line for the throne. So the invasion is almost complete. The blue coats are coming. The blue coats are coming. So, ladies and gentlemen, it might take a while, but eventually an American's going to run England, and then Brexit will finally happen. Hang on. No, poor Brits, hang on. We'll get there.
If you're looking for a position in a home-like atmosphere where you can help provide people with compassionate care and comprehensive services, HealthWin is looking for you. Come and apply for HealthWin's jobs of the week. Full-time social worker, long-term.
Okay, nobody can stun in a pantsuit. So some lady, Katie Jerkovich, she does like the fashion stuff for the Daily Caller. Ivanka stuns in powder blue pantsuit in Beverly Hills. No, she's in a pantsuit. She can't stun. It's impossible. That's like saying somebody looks sexy in capris. No, can't happen. Impossible.
And long-term residents. If you'd like to work for a company with a great employee environment, earn an excellent wage, and have the best benefits while making a difference in a patient's life, take a look at HealthWin. Come to their facility on Dartmouth Road in South
Trump tweeted out support for Venezuelan people.
Jobs of the week. Full-time social worker and nurses. Go to healthwin.org and click employment.
Well, yeah, the prince did have to abdicate back then, but I don't think that's going to happen this time. A lot has changed since then, but you're right.
Over 600 vehicles to choose from. R&B Car Company has the largest used car
our selection in Michiana. Gnarly! Very gnarly. No matter your need, compact, midsize, luxury, minivans, crossovers, SUVs, and pickup trucks. And make no payments for 90 days.
What? You mean Pepsi products are not infected with HIV? Crazy.
No, it's bodacious. Spring into savings at RVCarCompany.com.
Hey, Dad, can I have $20? I just gave you $20, son. What'd you do with that? Well, I just don't have it anymore. Can I have it now, please?
I just don't have it anymore.
Sounds absurd, right? But it's exactly what Elkhart Community Schools is trying to do again by attempting to take another $20 million from hardworking taxpayer money to pay for their wasteful spending, all while refusing to...
In Seattle, a city attorney is outraged when a homeless man with 72 convictions goes to jail.
For more info and why to vote no on May 7th on the 2019
This
ECS
art
referendum.
is
Paid
wrong.
for by Best for Elkhart
It's reverse.
Talk
They should
radio
fix
that
it.
talks with you, not at you.
Can't show it to you.
95.3, Michiana's news channel.
Word.
Lacey Hendrickson.
Good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. I am your host, Casey Hendrickson. We are live streaming on YouTube at youtube.com/Casey the host. Please subscribe to my channel and thumbs up if you are watching. I'm also on Twitch if you prefer that platform. Go to twitch.tv/Casey the host. I will stream my video game playing as soon as I land into a place where I live and the internet is there and I'll be able to stream video games again. I can't do that right now. So some of you are wondering where my Fallout videos are. Sorry. I would actually be streaming Wolfenstein right now because Wolfenstein has been awesome. I can't believe I ran into that for $3 at Walmart. It's amazing. So there's a study that has been done. Oh, wait, first I got to tell you about Second Amendment Arms and Range. First of all, go out to Second Amendment Arms and Range, mention me, get half off your range time, so you get to shoot. You can shoot rifle and pistol right there indoors, so you don't have to worry about the weather being hot, wet, cold, what have you. And you can also get ammo. So I know a lot of you are always looking for ammo. You need ammo, go to Second Amendment Arms and Range, mention me, you get a discount on the ammo. They even have reloading supplies, so you can make your own ammo. Go to secondamendmentarms.net for more info. A study released yesterday shows that teen suicides increased by 28.9% the month following the release of the Netflix series 13 Reasons Why. Now, 13 Reasons Why, that was the show about a suicide and why they committed suicide. Am I getting that right, Joe? Okay. I've not seen an episode of it. I remember a lot of people being really upset about it. And I remember there being a couple of stories of people who had written their goodbye letters that used that show as like a justification or whatever to take their own life. And suicide has been steadily increasing in the United States. It's not just in the U.S., actually. It's globally. Suicides have been increasing in Western societies. And I think part of it is, one, we don't have purpose anymore. We've talked about that before. Why do people join ridiculous organizations and things like that? We don't have purpose. Why do we believe things that shouldn't be believed? Because we don't have purpose. And we want to feel like we're making a difference. We're bored. We're so successful. We're fat and bored. That's where we're at. Okay. As a society, not you specifically. I'm not calling you fat. You're beautiful or handsome or whatever you are. Okay. Now, we also have an issue with the media, and the media obviously elevates everything bad. They make victims of everybody, and that's how they control politics and policy. So all of these things, you have people out there, young people in particular, who think that the world is the worst it's ever been, that nothing is good. It's the old Louis C.K. thing. Everything is amazing and nobody is happy. And it is. It's amazing. We live in the most amazing time ever in human history. It is the most peaceful time ever in human history. We are more comfortable than ever. We don't worry about meals anymore. It's really an amazing time to be alive. Okay. So the study published in the Journal of the American Academy of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry reveals that 13 Reasons Why has done much more harm than good, revealing that the number of deaths occurring in the month following the show's release dramatically increased for young people aged 10 to 17. Now, I want to make this crystal clear. Correlation is not causation, okay? We don't know for sure that the show caused this. It could be a total fluke. It's just that they looked at the numbers and they saw that it was an interesting correlation. Suicides were more prevalent in April of 2017 for this age group than any other month in the 5-year period surveyed, according to the National Institutes of Health. I don't know why that would be. Like, the weather is just starting to clear up. You should at least enjoy the warm weather for a little bit. Researchers found that this suicide increase was more dramatic for boy suicides. By the way, boys are more likely to kill themselves than girls by a wide margin. I should say men overall. Boys, I don't know, but men overall, way more likely than women to kill themselves. No significant trends were found in suicide rates for persons 18 to 64 years of age. Netflix spokesperson told the Daily Caller that they had just seen the study and were looking into the research, citing another University of Pennsylvania study that had conflicting results. This is a critically important topic, and we have worked hard to ensure that we handle this sensitive issue responsibly, that's Netflix spokesman to the Daily Caller. Netflix did not have further comments when pressed on how they would handle the increased rate of suicides. The company did refer the Daily Caller to parental guidelines for restricting what shows children watch on Netflix. And we all know that you parents are screening all of that and making sure that your kids don't have access to the adult programming on your Netflix accounts, right? We all know that, of course. You're good parents. Netflix produced 13 Reasons Why, an original series in March of 2017 with singer Selena Gomez. Oh, Selena Gomez is in that thing?
She helped produce it.
Oh, she helped produce it. Okay. Let's see. The show follows teenager Clay Jensen, played by Dylan Minnette, as he tried to unravel why his friend and crush, Hannah Baker, played by Catherine Langford, committed suicide. Jensen does this using the cassette tape that Baker leaves behind. A cassette tape?
There's like 6 or 7 cassette tapes, double-sided, that she recorded on. And her friend of her gave her a recording device to.
Detailing the 13 reasons why she committed suicide. Okay. So I've never seen an episode of this. Like I said, we've talked about it a couple of times. Now, I've got a couple of things to say. One, I don't think that it's fair to blame a show, a video game, a song, a musician, an actor, whatever, for suicides. I don't think that's fair. People who kill themselves and actually go through with it are already at that point. There are things that can trigger them to go further than they wanted to go. And perhaps a show like this plays into that, such as the emotions of a song could play into that. But at the same time, I'm not one to blame the production, if you will, for somebody actually taking their life. There's a lot of things that make us feel certain ways. It doesn't necessarily mean that we're actually going to take our own life. I mean, you're already at a severe state if you're going to do that. But we do have clearly a very impressionable population. We have a very influential media in this country. And if things are produced that can trigger that sort of thing, then that is, something that needs to be looked at, but not from a regulatory standpoint. But maybe if Netflix is looking at this and going, crap, every time we do something like this, people seem to die, then maybe we don't want to produce that programming from a moral standpoint, even if it'll get good ratings. So I'm not in the blame Netflix camp here, but is it possible that this provided some justification for people to finally go through that last step that they have been considering? Yeah, I suppose. People are impressionable when they're in that state of mind. So more research is needed, just letting you know what they're saying, okay? 574-2595, 95.3. That is 2595-953. Got more coming up. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel.
Casey Hendrickson.
News Talk 95.3.
Boy. No, in the show's couple final episodes, I don't remember if it's the last episode or the episode right before it, they had to take it down and re-edit it.
Did they?
Because it showed uncut her slitting her wrists. Her bleeding out.
So like how to do it, stuff like that.
It was super graphic. And Netflix got a lot of backlash for it, and it took them a couple months to take it down.
Gotcha. Crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably not the most responsible thing in the world to do, but yeah.
Fully shows a couple rape scenes, and it's a very graphic show. And it's very triggering for anyone.
Yeah, if you're already in that mindset, you look for any little thing for an excuse or justification. So.
I do believe that he justice, they can go to court and justify their investigation.
Man, there's a lot of politicians who want me to like their pages right now. Yeah, dude, rain has been nuts. We've had snow twice this month that I'm aware of. By the way, every time I go to my storage unit, I get snowed on. For real, every single time I go to my storage unit, I get snowed on. Friggin' sucks.
ABC 57 News. Watch Brienne Palmerini with Brian Conybeare and Tom Coombs on ABC 57 News 5, 5:30, 6, and 11, and on the CW25 at 10. See the difference. On The Big Bang Theory, after 12 seasons of soft kitty, warm kitty, little mama bird, seasons of Penny, 12 seasons of Bazinga. It's time to rewind to day one. Leonard, Sheldon. Hi. Starting Monday, May 20th. Watch The Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
From the very beginning.
I hear you, Warren. It's hard to... Most people just don't understand what depression is about. And because they don't, even though they want to help, they just... sometimes they end up making it worse. I did not see the pics of the pier. Was it really high? I know the river where we're at has been relatively steady. It's a little higher right now, but
look like the sun is shining on it. Vite Greenhouses is where your beautiful gardens begin, and is a certified proven winners grower retailer. Vite Greenhouses is open and ready to serve you. Go to vitegreenhouses.com and start planting your garden. You'll find plants, ground cover, shrubs, fruit trees, and ornamental trees. Vite Greenhouses in Niles.
I've been told by friends in law enforcement that a high percentage of vehicle deaths are actually suicides. This is true. It is an easy way for people to kill themselves. Casey, does Second Amendment offer courses on loading? I want to understand equipment I really need or don't need. I don't know. Call them.
We're able to do that with great products and great employees that really care about each other. We're not just concerned about numbers.
Give Sun Services a call today, 574-271-5010. Your trusted local independent American Standard dealer.
Get breaking news and weather online on 953mnc.com. From Newstalk 95.3 Michiana's News Channel, your breaking news and weather station.
Doop, 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 doop.
And good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. Newstalk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. I am your host, Casey Hendrickson. Somebody on the live stream pointed out that, when you show people mourning on these suicide shows, you're actually hurting the cause, because that's what some people who are suicidal really want. They want people to mourn them. Everybody has their own reason on why they're depressed. When you get to that point, there are a lot of people who are depressed who are not suicidal, but when you get to that point, there's various reasons, there's various outcomes that are desired and that sort of thing. But perhaps if you do shows like this where you show people really trying to reach out, really caring, is what is happening. That discussion is happening in the live stream right now. Maybe it'll have a better effect on those who are depressed who do watch those shows, as opposed to showing nobody really around until after the fact and then people caring, because that is a motivation for some people who happen to be suicidal. 574-2595, 95.3. That is 2595-953. Got another crazy lady out there. This is Ash Show from the Daily Wire. Following story of a false allegation of rape shows the harm that can be done to somebody even when police and prosecutors do everything right. The story was reported by Quillette and features the saga of Jared and Kate, two pseudonyms used to protect their identities, the accused to protect his name, the accuser in the hopes that she can receive treatment for her mental illness and be rehabilitated. Jared and Kate had a turbulent relationship for 3 years, and every time he tried to break up with her, she would threaten to commit suicide or hurt herself in other ways. When Jared finally did break up with Kate, she proceeded to send him emails about her feelings after the breakup. In one email, Kate begged Jared to remain friends with benefits. This is a common tactic to go ahead and keep somebody close, if you will. She sent that email on the same day that she and her new boyfriend announced on Facebook that they were official. Kate wrote to Jared, "I didn't have any true feelings for him, and I always made it clear to him that my feelings for you had not faded and probably wouldn't." Kate also sent a 45-minute video in which she told Jared, "You don't have to be scared to turn the corner and face me anymore." In another email, Kate told Jared, "My hands are shaking. Please don't replace me with anyone. I'm scared that this has had no big effect on you, that you are fine, not thinking about me, getting a good night's sleep. I can't go a second without thinking about you." Okay? You get the point, right? He didn't respond to these messages, and after a while of getting no response, Kate went to the police and did the logical thing. She reported him missing. No, she didn't report him missing. She accused him of abusing her. Police investigated Kate's claims, closed the case. As Quillette reported, Jared's lawyers were able to debunk the assault accusations using information that Kate herself had provided in a lengthy video message and emails. So she's messaging this guy. She's harassing this guy. He's not responding. He's trying to ignore her. To get his attention, she goes to the cops, says he abused me. So the cops do an investigation. They find out this guy's totally innocent and didn't do anything. They close the case. But even though the case was closed, the accusation itself was enough to damage his career as an up-and-coming musician. Venues canceled his band's gigs after people complained online about hosting a, quote, rapist. Keep in mind, this guy did nothing wrong. The band stood by Jared and were attacked themselves. They faced accusations of sexism and misogyny, according to Quillette. Kate claimed the case was not closed and repeatedly called police, claiming to have new evidence, but never actually provided any new evidence. So she's just trying to destroy him at this point. The police reportedly became annoyed after officers realized that they were being used as a part of a character assassination campaign. Quillette's Diana Davidson, Quillette's a publication, by the way. It's rare for police to take any action against a woman who claims that she was sexually assaulted, even when there is evidence that she is lying. Yet in this case, police charged Kate with stalking. So the police went about their own business and they actually charged her. She spent a night in jail, was to appear in court, but before she entered the courtroom, she began shaking and yelling that she couldn't go through with the process. She fought the guards trying to bring her into the room. Through it all, her new boyfriend remained supportive in the courtroom because he's clearly well-adjusted. Jared learned that Kate wanted a plea deal. He wanted her to apologize on every social media platform that she defamed him on and admit to her lies. He received an apology from her addressed only to him. Jared also compiled a list of financial damages due to her actions, but the amount was deemed too large for a restitution order, according to the report. He was harassed, he was stalked, he was falsely accused of rape, and his accuser was allowed into a diversion program that included mandatory therapy and an apology. She was prohibited from posting on social media, and when she was given the privilege back, she immediately posted a statement implying everything she said was the truth. Jared, on the other hand, was smeared and had his livelihood threatened. He's now performing again and going to school, but this, unfortunately, this is common and far too common. There's guys who do this too, but this is predominantly something that ladies do to their ex-boyfriends. And we've done a lot of these cases on college campuses. This is really common, where the split happens or there is a physical night of activity that the guy ends up thinking is a one-night deal. She ends up thinking is a relationship deal. Now he ghosts her, and of course she says she was raped, and it becomes a whole brouhaha because on campus he doesn't have any rights. So this is one of those common things. And we have got to get better at teaching the consequences of falsely accusing people like this, and 2, punishing people who do. So she doesn't, she immediately, part of the court action was for her to apologize to him. She did, but the moment that happened and everything was finished, she immediately went back and said, nope, he did actually assault me. And the whole thing just starts all over again. And now he's got to deal with this for the rest of his life, whatever his real name is. I'm sure if you Googled his real name, it would still show up everywhere. And this is the type of thing that unfortunately is commonplace. And we need, I'm starting to think that we need a men's group that helps defend people like this, because I don't think we have one at this point in time, and there needs to be one. Hannity's up next. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. For those of you who watched on the live stream, you have a wonderful night. Be safe. We'll talk at you tomorrow.
Hi, I'm Betty.
Oh, man. What a day. What a day. What a day. Oh, you know what? I didn't go out and get my screwdriver. I got to get my screwdriver for you. If you got time. You don't work today. It shows, man.
Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I don't remember that, but I repeated it. All right, folks, I've got to bounce because I got to handle some choas, but I will chat at you all tomorrow. You have a wonderful night, and don't forget, go to all of our sponsors, show them some love, show them some support, subscribe to the page, thumbs up on the page, follow on Twitch, all that good stuff. You take care.